Urban Cultivation, starting my immortal path from key refining level 1. Hey, fanfic family. So glad to see you here again to continue this incredible adventure. As always, kindly remember, this story is 100% fiction, so don't go looking for dimensional portals in your closet. All rights to this fantastic novel belong to the original author. We're just your humble narrators of epic tales. Are you enjoying the fanfic? Show it by subscribing to our YouTube channel and dropping us a like. And if you're impatient for more exclusive content, our Patreon is your happy place. Chapter 126 Dance Teacher. Actually, I'm a dance teacher. Li Fixun paused, then stated her profession, seeming a little embarrassed. Dance teacher, Su Yang chuckled softly. You scared me to death. I thought you were an online streamer. What's wrong with an online streamer? Li Fixun asked in confusion. Nothing, Su Yang smiled, then said, the profession of dance teacher is good, I like it. I just didn't expect, wife, you can dance, of course. Mentioning her major, Li Fixun instantly became confident, and smiled confidently. I have been studying dance for more than 10 years, okay? Dance is my biggest hobby. Great, Su Yang praised, and then asked with a smile, wife, what kind of dance are you good at? Chinese classical dance. Great, great, you are worthy of being my wife. I like dance with ancient charm. I love you so much. Su Yang looked at Li Fixun and admired this girl even more. He then asked, since you are a dance teacher, what are you doing at Wanghong Bridge so late? My grandfather doesn't want me to dance. He thinks dancing is useless and dance teachers don't get much salary, but I want to make money with my own ability. Li Fixun smiled and said, so, I opened a dance training class without telling my family, but my training class has been established for 2 months, and I have only accepted 4 or 5 students. Recently, there are no more people signing up. At this point, Li Fixun smiled bitterly and said, so I plan to record a dance video to promote my training class. The internet celebrity bridge is a place with many classical elements. It is beautiful and just right as a stage. Li Fixun paused, a little shy, but there will be passers-by here. I am afraid that dancing will attract onlookers. That would be too embarrassing. Su Yang, you accompany me. Let's embarrass ourselves together, haha. Su Yang laughed and said, wife, you have social anxiety. This shouldn't be the case. Aren't you a dance teacher? Don't you usually dance in front of students? Why are you afraid of being watched? That's different. Students are students, and passers-by are passers-by. Li Fixun gritted her teeth and said, Su Yang, will you accompany me or not? Of course I will. You are so beautiful. I'm afraid that when you dance, the male compatriots watching will lose control. I have to protect you by your side, Su Yang said seriously. PFFT, that's out of tune. Li Fixun rolled her eyes at Su Yang, but her heart was beaming with joy. She said, Su Yang, I'll start. Here's my camera and phone. Take them. Find a good angle and take a nice picture of me, okay? Su Yang took the camera and phone, then curiously asked, honey, what dance are you going to do? Do you have a name? Yes, Li Fixun nodded. I'm planning on doing a fan dance. I've slightly improved on the original, so it should be pretty good. Fan dance, sounds beautiful. I think you need a fan, right? Do you have one? Yes, Li Fixun pulled a folding fan from her sleeve, a little timidly. Su Yang, open your phone and play the first song on my playlist. I'm going to start dancing, okay? Go ahead and dance. I'll take care of the rest, Su Yang encouraged. Okay, Li Fixun nodded slightly, then took a few steps forward and stood in the middle of the internet-famous bridge. For a moment, many passers-by stopped and looked over. Li Fixun noticed that everyone was looking at her and became even more nervous. Her expression was a little unnatural, as if she was about to back out. At this moment, Su Yang opened the playlist on his phone, and a beautiful ancient-style prelude sounded. The first song was the popular ancient-style song Kingsi. As the music sounded, Li Fixun instantly got into the mood, her eyes changed, and she didn't show any timidity at all. Don't you see, I dance gracefully, don't you see, I play the zither melodiously, don't you see, a strand of black hair sighs. As the music started, Li Fixun really got into the mood and began her performance. She was wearing an ancient-style long skirt and a long cape behind her. Her movements were gentle, and she portrayed her tenderness to the fullest. Su Yang was next to her, holding a camera in his hand, and squatted down to find the angle. As he filmed, he couldn't help but praise her, beautiful. It seems my wife has really studied dance. Falling petals, fluttering and scattering, dazzle my eyes, misty waves, riverside, fishing boats, the lights are dim tonight, I still, intoxicated and dreamless, watch the world change like flowing water with a smile, my beloved sighs, unable to stop the bittersweet longing, reminiscing about the good old days. The song continued, and so did Li Fixun's dance, her graceful movements with a folding fan. More and more passers-by stopped to watch, some even taking out their phones to film. Wow, this girl is so beautiful. What a divine beauty. The dance is also beautiful. It fulfills all my fantasies of classical beauty. She must be some internet celebrity. Checking in at the internet celebrity bridge. Does anyone know her? Many passers-by praised Li Fixun and her dance with rave reviews, and several male audience members couldn't take their eyes off her. How dare you stare at my wife so brazenly? This infuriated Su Yang, and with a wave of his hand, a gust of wind swept through, kicking up dust and blowing it directly at the male passers-by. Damn, what a strong wind, damn, my eyes, the male audience, gazing intently at Li Fixun, felt a sudden pang of pain. It's just a small lesson, Su Yang snorted, then continued to admire his wife's dance. It was then that the highlight arrived. Li Fixun removed her cape and tossed it discreetly to Su Yang. Then, her movements faded from gentleness, and the folding fan in her hand seemed to transform into a sharp sword. Her movements, alternating between fast and slow, instantly captivated the entire audience. Called an exiled immortal, it's hard to stay in the Jade Palace. I traveled to the mortal world's red mansion to drink, my eyes filled with passion, and I've written countless more exams. I pour the world's strongest wine, and lying in the towering towers of Chang'an, I wonder who in the world can match my carefree nature. The song continued playing, and Su Yang realized it was a medley of ancient Chinese songs. It had just been Kingxi, and now it had switched to Exiled Immortal. Both songs were truly beautiful, and combined with Li Fixun's dance, it was a visual and auditory delight, drawing ever more people to watch. Before they knew it, the popular bridge was packed, with even more people watching from afar, all holding their breath. Not a single noise escaped, fearing to disrupt the beauty of the scene. After about 2 minutes, Li Fixun's dance concluded. Her breathing was slightly rapid, and beads of sweat covered her forehead. She reached up to wipe the sweat off her face, but then she noticed so many people watching her. Her earlier confidence vanished, and she nervously trotted, hiding behind Su Yang, urging him to leave. The male passers-by who were watching stared at Li Fixun infatuatedly. Su Yang gritted his teeth and spit out blood, nearly dying of jealousy. So, without hesitation, he grabbed his wife and ran off. P.S. To be honest, I initially wanted to give Li Fixun the identity of a live streamer. But many readers left threatening messages, saying that if Li Fixun was a live streamer, they would stop watching and give me bad reviews. I was immediately displeased. I've always stood tall and straight, never bowing to anyone in my life. Who do you think you are, daring to threaten me? I was just joking above. I changed my profession and didn't write live streamer. Brothers, please don't miss it. Chapter 127. Do you still remember Jiang Zuir? Only after Su Yang and Li Fixun left did the crowd finally react. She's so ethereal. She's absolutely stunning. This young lady has such a divine aura. What kind of dance was that just now? So beautiful, so stunning. What kind of idiot is that man who took her away? He actually touched this young lady's hand. It makes me angry. 10,000 people signed a petition in blood, begging for this young lady's contact information. Li Fixun's dance was a huge hit, instantly gaining a large number of fans. 10 minutes later, a red Ferrari pulled up on a quiet roadside, Su Yang and Li Fixun inside. Su Yang, those people didn't follow us, Li Fixun asked with lingering fear. No, Su Yang looked at Li Fixun in the passenger seat and smiled softly. Honey, you look so beautiful when you dance. Are you saying I'm not beautiful normally? Li Fixun asked. They're all beautiful, Su Yang said with a smile. I love them so much. Seeing you dance, I even decided what to name our child. You only know how to say sweet nothings. Li Fixun blushed, glancing at Su Yang. Then, where's my camera? Did you take all the photos? Yes, Su Yang nodded, then handed the camera to Li Fixun. Li Fixun took the camera, reviewed the video, and then smiled with satisfaction. Not bad, the angles are great. Thank you, Su Yang, wife, we're all adults. What's the point of just saying thank you? Li Fixun paused. How do you want me to thank you? That's simple. Just give me your body. Su Yang smiled playfully. There's a theme hotel over there. We could, don't even think about it. Li Fixun glared at Su Yang angrily. Why are you so reluctant, wife? You're going to marry me anyway. Isn't this normal? Su Yang smiled softly. Su Yang, you disappoint me so much. Li Fixun seemed to have thought of something, and suddenly she became angry, her eyes reddening. Hey, honey, I was just kidding. Don't cry. Su Yang reached out and wiped the tears from Li Fixun's eyes, about to comfort her. Don't touch me. Li Fixun suddenly shook Su Yang's hand away, opened the car door, and began to get out. What happened? Why did her mood suddenly turn so bad? Su Yang was puzzled and stopped Li Fixun, asking blankly, Honey, what's wrong? Why are you angry, Su Yang? Li Fixun's gaze fell on Su Yang, and her eyes reddened as she asked, Do you remember Zhang Zuir? Zhang Zuir was Li Fixun's best friend. The two were almost inseparable, as close as one person. But 5 years ago, young Master Su was tricked by Su Jing'an and, after a drunken encounter, had Zhang Zuir. Not long after that incident, Zhang Zuir became pregnant, and the child she carried was, naturally, Su Yang's. This incident became public knowledge, but the Zhang family was a small clan, even a subsidiary of the Su family. Therefore, the Zhang family didn't dare confront the Su family head-on. Ultimately, they benefited from the Su family's favor and left Zhang Bei with Zhang Zuir, who had aborted her child. From then on, Zhang Bei lost a small clan and a stunning beauty on par with Li Fixun. No wonder Li Fixun suddenly became angry. She was thinking of Zhang Zuir. Wife, of course I remember Zhang Zuir. Su Yang met Li Fixun's gaze and explained, but I didn't do what I wanted back then. You heard what Su Jing'an said that day at the nightclub. He planned it, and I fell into his trap. Su Yang smiled bitterly. Ultimately, I'm also a victim of this incident, but Zhang Zuir was insulted by you and subsequently became pregnant. That's a fact. Li Fixun gritted her teeth. I know. Su Yang didn't deny it, and then added, I'm not explaining this to shirk responsibility. I just want to make things clear and not upset you. If I did it on purpose, then I'm sorry, but I was completely unconscious at the time. I was wrong, but I wasn't wrong either, Su Yang said seriously. Li Fixun felt a little better after hearing this. 5 years ago, when the affair between Su Yang and Zhang Zuir first broke out, she was deeply saddened. Later, Su Yang became a playboy, spending nights out in high-end clubs. Gradually, Li Fixun stopped caring about it, because her feelings for Su Yang had worn off, and she had decided she would never marry him. So, whatever Su Yang did to Zhang Zuir was none of her business, so there was no need to be sad. But recently, Li Fixun learned the truth of what happened back then, and realized that Su Yang wasn't a playboy, but was just using the image to disguise himself. Her dormant love for Su Yang gradually unleashed, and she cared about him even more. Thus, the Zhang Zuir incident became a knot in Li Fixun's heart. Whenever she thought of what happened between her best friend and Su Yang that night, she was deeply distressed. She chose to forget it, pretending it had never happened. But it had already happened, a fait accompli, so why should she lie to herself? Su Yang's suggestion of getting a room, whether joking or serious, had undoubtedly touched a vulnerable chord in Li Fixun's heart. So, her long-suppressed emotions erupted. But then, on reflection, Su Yang had done nothing wrong. He had been forced to do what he wanted, and there was no need for her to dwell on the past. Raised in a large family, Li Fixun was accustomed to seeing men with 3 wives and 4 concubines, with red flags flying at home and colorful flags fluttering outside. Such behavior had become commonplace, so she didn't question Su Yang's activities at the club over the years. Whether he was just pretending or actually looking for women at the club, Li Fixun didn't care. Such behavior was normal for men. But what she cared about was Su Yang and her best friend. This was like a thorn in her throat. Su Yang, now that we've talked it out, I can let go of the past. But right now, I need a promise from you, Li Fixun said seriously. What promise? I don't care how many good sisters you'll have in the future, but I must be the most important one in your heart. Li Fixun gritted her teeth and said, also, any woman you have who wants to be with you must have my permission. You can't secretly have a mistress without my knowledge. Wife, I think you're worrying too much, Su Yang said righteously. I'm not the kind of womanizer. I only love you in this life. All other women are just effeminate skeletons in my eyes, not worth mentioning. Slippery. Li Fixun rolled her eyes at Su Yang and said, "Don't try to avoid the question. Can you agree to what I'm saying?" "Yes, of course," Su Yang replied. "That's more like it." Li Fixun felt much better after hearing Su Yang's answer, and then said calmly, "Su Yang, don't say I'm bullying you. I just forced you to make a decision. Now you can ask me a more private question for a girl, and I will answer you." "Really? Any question is fine," Su Yang said with a playful smirk. "Really?" Li Fixun gritted her teeth. She had guessed that Su Yang was going to ask some evil questions, but she nodded anyway. There was nothing she could do, after all, the words were out. But Su Yang's next question made her look stunned, and she was stunned. "Wife, how do I disassemble the crawler tracks of the Langxiang excavator?" Chapter 128. Su Yang is not feeling well. Excavator? Tracks? How to remove them? I'm a girl, and you're asking me how to remove the tracks on an excavator? Li Fixun was dumbfounded. After she came to her senses, she gritted her teeth and said, "What? Is this a private question for girls? Don't you say you will answer any question I ask?" Su Yang said seriously, "Wife, so, how did you dismantle it? I haven't driven an excavator, how would I know?" Li Fixun said with a dark face. "Su Yang, you are deliberately teasing me, right? Haha." Su Yang smiled, and then said, "Wife, I am quite knowledgeable, so I won't ask you questions. If you feel that you forced me to make a decision and you owe me, just kiss me, you, shameless." After being interrupted by the excavator question just now, Li Fixun obviously forgot her previous unhappiness. She gave Su Yang a white look angrily, and then came over and kissed Su Yang on the left cheek. "It's okay now." "No." Su Yang shook his head and said, "I asked you to kiss me, but I didn't ask you to kiss my left cheek. You kissed the wrong place. What a trouble. Where do you want me to kiss?" "Of course here." Su Yang pointed to his right cheek and said. "Okay." Li Fixun didn't hesitate. She leaned over and kissed Su Yang's right cheek, quickly straightening herself. This was her first time kissing a boy, and her heart pounded with excitement, her face flushed. This feeling was wonderful. Not bad." Su Yang wiped the saliva from his face and said, "Honey, this is the right kiss. But you kissed the wrong person just now. I want to kiss you back, otherwise I'll be at a disadvantage." With that, Su Yang leaned over and kissed Li Fixun directly on the forehead. It smelled so sweet and comfortable, and Su Yang's face was filled with intoxication, and he couldn't help but swallow. "And you're so serious. Are you serious?" "No, if you're serious, I have to be serious too." Li Fixun was unhappy and gritted her teeth, saying, "Su Yang, I kissed the wrong person just now. I kissed her left cheek. Why did you kiss my forehead? I want to kiss you back." As she finished speaking, Li Fixun kissed Su Yang's forehead again. "Okay, we've kissed your forehead, but you still owe me a kiss on the left cheek." Su Yang kissed Li Fixun again. "What? I kissed her left cheek near your mouth. Why did you kiss me near my ear?" Li Fixun kissed Su Yang again. And so, the two of them, fussing over each other, looked quite foolish. But how many couples in love have any sense? Ugh! As they kissed, their lips suddenly touched, and Su Yang and Li Fixun were stunned, their eyes locked. At that moment, time seemed to stand still. The car was silent, and outside, the wind rustled through the leaves. A long moment passed. Li Fixun reacted and hurriedly pulled away to sit aside, her face as red as a ripe apple. Recalling her kissing with Su Yang just now, Li Fixun felt bashful, wishing she could find a hole in the ground to crawl into. Su Yang, Li Fixun gathered the hair scattered on her forehead and said in a panic, take me home, I want to edit the video I took today and upload it to the training class's official account." "Yeah, okay," Su Yang agreed with a smile. Then, he drove the red Ferrari and took Li Fixun back to the Li family manor. "Su Yang, I'll go back first." After the car parked, Li Fixun pushed open the door and trotted into the manor. After watching his wife leave, Su Yang smiled, glanced at the 7 o'clock direction, and then drove away. With Su Yang's ability, he could naturally detect Li Chunfeng in the dark. When he came to pick up Li Fixun, Su Yang noticed it, but he didn't point it out, and this time he pretended not to know. After Su Yang left, Li Chunfeng appeared. He pulled out his phone, checked the time, and analyzed. An hour. Su Yang only took Fei Zhuan out for an hour. Excluding the travel time, it's only a few dozen minutes. The previous times they took all night. How come it was only a few dozen minutes this time? Besides, Fei Zhuan looked relaxed and unstressed as she walked. Finally, Li Chunfeng concluded, Su Yang's not up to it, it's no wonder. He's an ordinary person. Even with his extensive experience, doing it every night wouldn't be physically possible. Besides, Su Yang is a complete playboy, addicted to high-end clubs for years. I'm afraid his body is already worn out. Li Chunfeng's face was filled with worry. This won't work. His health is not only related to the future happiness of my granddaughter, but also my great-grandson. He can't let it fail. Tomorrow morning, I must find Su Yang, give him the Tongshan pill, and teach him martial arts to strengthen his body. Having made up his mind, Li Chunfeng quickly disappeared. By the time Su Yang drove home, it was already late at night. He sat cross-legged and quickly entered a state of cultivation. Unconsciously, the next day arrived. Early in the morning, he received a call from his father. Su Yang, I have good news for you. You're about to become a guru, an ancient martial artist. Su Shanbing beamed happily over the phone. Su Yang paused, puzzled. Dad, what do you mean? You know Li Chunfeng, Fei Zhuan's grandfather. The Li family has a family heirloom called the Tongshan pill. Taking it, any ordinary person instantly transforms into guru, an ancient martial artist. Li Chunfeng has this pill. Su Shanbing smiled. He's already decided to give it to you. He's on his way to the Riverside Villa right now. Not only is Patriarch Li giving you the pill, he's also planning to teach you martial arts. With his guidance, your future is bright, Su Shanbing excitedly said. Perhaps, you can reach the Huijin realm in your lifetime. Huijin realm? In your lifetime? Su Yang smiled, but on the surface, he said, Dad, what's with the Tongshan pill? Is it reliable? Grandpa Li hates me so much. Is he planning to poison me? You little brat, what are you thinking? Patriarch Li wants to kill you, and why would he go to all that trouble? Just a flick of his finger and you're dead, Su Shanbing warned. This time, it's a blessing in disguise for you. You must cooperate with Patriarch Li and don't get into any trouble, okay? Su Yang nodded, then knowingly asked, Dad, where have you and Grandpa been? Why haven't I seen you these past 2 days? Haha, your grandpa and I were at the Juman Black Market. We were planning to find Uncle Xuantian and have a few drinks with him to improve our relationship, Su Shanbing said without hiding anything. Uncle Xuantian, Su Yang smiled wryly at that. You bastard, Su Xuantian is my uncle. You can't call him Uncle Xuantian. We're too different in generation. You should call him Grandpa Xuantian, Su Shanbing said seriously. Grandpa? I'm my own grandpa. Su Yang smiled bitterly, then casually said, Dad, is the Nine Gates Black Market bustling? I'd like to go see it, too. What are you doing here? This is where ancient warriors trade. You're a loser, why are you embarrassing yourself here? Su Shanbing first cut off Su Yang's thoughts, then said, Hey, your grandfather and I have been waiting for 2 days, and we don't know when Uncle Xuantian will come to the Nine Gates Black Market. Hearing this, Su Yang showed a strange expression. Dad, why don't you understand? If I don't go to the Nine Gates Black Market, you will never wait for your Uncle Xuantian. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 129, Divine Pill. Alright, Su Yang, I'm tired of wasting time with you. Remember, cooperate with Patriarch Li. At this moment, Su Shanbing's voice rang out over the phone. I'm warning you, Patriarch Li has a close relationship with your grandfather. If you upset him and he attacks you, no one can save you, not even the women. You'd better be sensible. After another warning, Su Shanbing hung up. Su Yang put away his phone, a smile playing on his face. It wasn't a big deal for Grandpa and Dad to wait like this. It seemed he needed to go to the Nine Gates Black Market. Su Yang, come out and see me. Just then, Li Chunfeng's voice rang out from outside the villa. Woof, the white cat, which had been sleeping in the room, instantly became alert. Master, someone's coming. It's a master, yes, I get it. Conceal your presence. He's not an enemy, stay put, I'll handle him. After Su Yang's instructions, he stood up and left the room, intending to see what this so-called Tongshan pill was and whether it would be of any use to him. If it is useful, he doesn't mind swallowing it. After all, something that comes to your doorstep should be taken away soon. Su Yang met Li Chunfeng outside the villa. At this moment, Li Chunfeng was wearing a loose training suit, looking at Su Yang expressionlessly, with an indescribable complexity in his eyes. When he thought about his ancestral Tongshan pill being given away to Su Yang, a bastard, he felt very painful. Grandpa Li, Su Yang greeted him with a smile, and then went straight to the point. Where is the Tongshan pill? Take it out and let me see it. It seems that Su Shenbing has told me everything. Li Chunfeng looked at Su Yang and said with a bad face, Su Yang, you are not polite to me. You want the Tongshan pill when we meet. You are Fei Zhuang's grandfather, and you will soon be my grandfather. Su Yang smiled and said, do I need to be polite to my own grandfather? I am not a shy person, you kid, you are so straightforward. Li Chunfeng complained about Su Yang, but he felt very comfortable in his heart and couldn't help laughing. Su Yang didn't treat him as an outsider, which was a positive feeling, demonstrating a sense of belonging within the Li family. Su Yang, since your father has explained everything, I won't explain the effects of the Tongshan pill. Li Chunfeng pulled a beautiful, fist-sized box from his chest and said seriously, but I'm warning you, after taking this pill, no matter what you achieve in the future, if the Li family is in trouble, you must step forward. Grandpa Li, look at what you're saying, Su Yang said sternly. Fei Zhuang is my wife. Even without this pill, as long as the Li family doesn't despise my weakness, I will protect them without hesitation. Okay. Li Chunfeng couldn't help but praise Su Yang, then said cheerfully, take the Tongshan pill and swallow it in front of me. Thank you, Grandpa Li. Su Yang took the exquisite wooden box and slowly opened it, instantly overjoyed. Inside, a grape-sized, gray-brown pill lay, covered in patterns and emitting a faint fragrance. Of course. That's nothing. The main thing is that this elixir actually contains spiritual energy. The spiritual energy is even as rich as 20 energy stones. If I'm not mistaken, the so-called Tongshan pill is made by refining many old medicines that have been around for a long time. The spiritual energy inside comes from those old medicines, Su Yang speculated. Then said with regret, what a pity, the person who refined the Tongshan pill was so poorly made. At least 80% of the 100% spiritual energy was wasted. In addition, it was stored for too long, so 10% was naturally consumed. Now only 10% of the spiritual energy is left. If it were me who refined it, I would be sure to unleash the full spiritual energy of the old medicine. 10% spiritual energy is equivalent to 20 energy stones. If it was 100%, that would be 200 energy stones. It can definitely help me surpass the 5th level of key training and reach the 6th level. What a pity, what a pity. Su Yang's brows revealed a look of regret. Su Yang, don't just stand there, swallow it. Li Chunfeng, who was standing next to him, urged, I'm curious, what realm will you reach after swallowing the Tongshan pill? Su Yang reacted and pinched the Tongshan pill in his right hand. He didn't swallow it immediately, but asked with a smile, Grandpa Li, generally speaking, what realm of ancient martial artist can the Tongshan pill transform an ordinary person into? Since Li Chunfeng had come to him, and he wanted to take the Tongshan pill himself, he definitely had to show some strength. However, Su Yang didn't know what realm to pretend to be. If it was too low, Li Chunfeng would look down on him. If it was too high, would it scare him? So, Su Yang asked. It's hard to say. It depends mainly on talent, Li Chunfeng said truthfully. Our Li family actually originally had 2 Tongshan pills. About 100 years ago, my grandfather took one and instantly reached the early stages of Huijin. Li Chunfeng continued, my grandfather had exceptional talent. After 10 years, he reached the Grandmaster level, and never reached the peak of Grandmaster status. Su Yang, I don't have high expectations for you. Just become a Mingjin ancient martial artist. Li Chunfeng looked at Su Yang seriously and said, after my guidance, perhaps you can reach the Huijin realm on your own in a few decades. As for reaching Huijin, I will find a way for you to make further breakthroughs. As for what method, don't ask me. Hurry and eat the Tongshan pill. If you don't, I'll regret it, Li Chunfeng urged. Okay, Su Yang smiled and immediately put the Tongshan pill into his mouth, swallowing it. Now, Su Yang had just reached the 4th level of key training and had refined 10 energy stones to consolidate his realm. While the spiritual energy contained in the divine pill was considerable, it wasn't enough to allow him to break through to the 5th level. Su Yang estimated that he would need at least 80 more energy stones to reach that level. At this moment, with Li Chunfeng nearby, Su Yang couldn't conveniently perform the 9 nether prison suppression technique. So, He chose to store the spiritual energy pill within his body and refine it later. Strange, Su Yang, why didn't you experience any reaction after taking the spiritual energy pill? Aren't you feeling uncomfortable? Li Chunfeng asked curiously. His words suddenly awakened Su Yang. He realized that he was just an ordinary person, and the spiritual energy pill's power was so strong that he needed to contain it. Ah, it hurts so much, Grandpa Li. My stomach hurts so much, and my head hurts too. I'm in so much pain. Su Yang clutched his stomach, writhing in agony, tears welling up in his eyes. Well, that's more like it. For some reason, when Li Chunfeng saw Su Yang in excruciating pain, the resentment that had been pent up in his heart seemed to be released, and he felt particularly comfortable. Aren't you very arrogant? You take Feijuan to a hotel room every day. You deserve to be in pain. Who told you to steal my cabbage? Now it's your retribution, ha ha ha. Of course. Li Chunfeng didn't really want Su Yang to die. If Su Yang died, wouldn't a Tongshan pill be wasted? So, he stared at Su Yang intently, secretly praying that Su Yang could withstand the effect of the medicine. About 5 minutes later, Su Yang was tired of performing, so he stopped rolling around, stood up, and let out a low roar. Ah, then, Su Yang said excitedly, Grandpa Li, I feel so strong now, success. Li Chunfeng was overjoyed. After hearing Su Yang's words, he casually criticized, you just became an ancient martial artist, and you feel so strong? How strong can you be? At most, Mingjin, what? As he said this, Li Chunfeng noticed Su Yang's martial arts realm and was immediately shocked, his face filled with strong astonishment. Chapter 130 You have been smart since you were young. Hua Jin. Li Chunfeng stared at Su Yang in disbelief, his shock barely concealed, his voice trembling. That's right. After much consideration, Su Yang decided to disguise his strength as that of a mid-stage Huajin. Li Chunfeng's grandfather, after taking the Tongshan pill, only advanced from an ordinary person to the early stages of Huajin. Now, Su Yang had leapt into the mid-stage Huajin realm, and should be able to gain Li Chunfeng's attention. Grandpa Li, Su Yang feigned confusion, wondering, am I already in the mid-stage Huajin realm? Yes. Li Chunfeng came to his senses, nodded solemnly, and said ecstatically, Su Yang, you're such a surprise. I didn't expect you to be so talented that you've actually reached the mid-stage Huajin realm. Ha, I found a treasure, really? Grandpa Li, I thought I wasn't worthy of the Tongshan pill, and I was worried about wasting such a good pill, Su Yang muttered. Sure, you are the one who deserves the Tongshan pill the most, more than anyone else, Li Chunfeng said excitedly. Giving you the Tongshan pill is the most correct decision I have ever made in my life. You didn't let me down. However, Su Yang, you only have a lot of true energy now, but you don't know how to use it. You need to practice an internal skill. Li Chunfeng struck while the iron was hot and said, I will pass on the Li family's ancestral internal skills to you. Listen carefully, I will explain it to you first. Then, Li Chunfeng began to say some awkward and difficult to understand sentences, like reciting classical Chinese. That's about it, Su Yang. You must pay attention to controlling this hanky within your body and circulating it throughout your body. My Li family's internal energy, while not top-notch, is certainly not weak. Without 3 to 5 years of practice, you will definitely not be able to master it. Speaking of the Li family's internal energy, Li Chunfeng showed a hint of pride and continued, but if you study diligently, training hard during the coldest days of winter and the hottest days of summer, and with my guidance, I guarantee that within 3 years, you will have mastered the basics of the Li family's internal energy. Grandpa Li. Li Chunfeng was about to say something else when Su Yang interrupted him. He then concentrated a stream of Zhanqi and asked curiously, is this how the Li family's internal energy works? Haha, of course not. You only listened to me once. How could you possibly master it? Li Chunfeng was about to deny Su Yang, but his smile froze, his expression filled with shock. He did it. Su Yang, he actually did it. He mastered the Li family's internal energy after just one listen. This. Impossible. Li Chunfeng couldn't believe his eyes, but after repeated checks, he discovered that the flow of qi within Su Yang's body mirrored the Li family's internal energy techniques. Truly, he'd mastered it. What a terrifying talent. Su Yang, you are truly worthy of being my grandson-in-law. Li Chunfeng stared at Su Yang with fiery eyes, so excited he wanted to pounce on him and kiss him twice. This young man truly was the epitome of quiet devotion, Yet suddenly he made a splash. Just moments ago, he was a worthless nobody, the most dissolute playboy in Jiangbei. Yet, in just a few minutes, he'd transformed himself into a mid-stage Huajin cultivator and mastered the Li family's internal energy techniques. It truly lived up to the saying. The future is uncertain, you and I are both dark horses. Thank you, Grandpa Li, for the Tongshan pill, and thank you, Grandpa Li, for teaching me the internal energy techniques. Su Yang chuckled softly. Li Chunfeng's excited reaction was exactly what he'd expected. Good grandson-in-law, thanking Grandpa so much is so awkward, Li Chunfeng said with a grin, his eyes filled with admiration as he looked at Su Yang. Grandpa Li, don't call me your grandson-in-law. At this time, Su Yang got nervous and said indifferently, have you forgotten that before at the Su family manor, you said with your own mouth that as long as you still have a breath, you will not let Fei Zhuan marry me? Hey, actually I understand Grandpa Li's feelings. I am not worthy of Fei Zhuan. Grandpa Li, you said you wanted to cancel the engagement, right? Now I understand, Su Yang sighed and said, since Grandpa Li is so opposed to my marriage with Fei Zhuan, then the engagement should be cancelled. No, who said I resisted? I don't resist, really. Li Chunfeng suddenly became anxious and hurriedly said, my good grandson-in-law, Grandpa was just joking with you at that time, please don't cancel the engagement. What a joke. Now Su Yang is a genius among 10,000, even more terrifying than those geniuses of the ancient martial arts sects. Such a young talent is undoubtedly the best son-in-law of the Li family and must not be let go. So it was just a joke. Su Yang looked at Li Chunfeng and said, but what if I take it seriously? Su Yang, my good grandson-in-law, it was Grandpa's bad attitude that day, please calm down, Li Chunfeng said in an almost pleading tone, actually, I know that you have been smart since you were young. It was Su Qianqian who didn't teach you well, so I took the initiative to offer to teach you. Su Yang, you continue to be my grandson-in-law. I will definitely train you to be a super master, haha. Seeing that it was almost over, Su Yang smiled lightly, Grandpa Li, I was just joking with you. Fei Zhuan and I are in love with each other, and I will marry her in this life, you kid. Li Chunfeng reacted immediately, raised his hand, and was about to teach Su Yang a lesson in anger, but when he thought of Su Yang's talent, he couldn't bear to hide him. Instead, he patted Su Yang on the shoulder and smiled with relief, haha, Su Yang, I feel relieved when you say this, Grandpa Li. Su Yang smiled and said, I don't know why, but I'm so tired right now. I suddenly want to rest. His words implied he was sending him packing. Su Yang still had a Tongshan pill in his body, which he needed to refine quickly. But Li Chunfeng said, it's normal. You've just reached the Huajin realm and learned the inner skills, so it's natural to feel tired. How about this? Go to your room and rest for a while. I'll be downstairs in the living room to protect you, Li Chunfeng continued. Once you've rested, I'll take you to see Su Qianqian and Su Shenbing. They'll see the transformation you've made. They'll be astonished, haha. With that, Li Chunfeng walked straight into the villa, regardless of Su Yang's agreement. Su Yang gave a wry smile and followed him in. With his current abilities, he could easily form a spiritual barrier to mask the spiritual fluctuations generated by his cultivation, so he didn't stop Li Chunfeng from entering the villa. Then, Li Chunfeng sat cross-legged on the sofa in the living room, while Su Yang returned to his room on the third floor to refine the Tongshan pill. Before he knew it, night had fallen. Su Yang had successfully refined the Tongshan pill, solidifying his key refining stage 4. Preliminary estimates suggested that with another 80 energy stones, he could reach key refining stage 5. Su Yang, have you rested well? I've asked around, and Su Qianqian and Su Shenbing are at the 9 Gates Black Market. I'll take you to them. Just then, Li Chunfeng's voice rang out from outside the room. Su Yang had been a worthless piece of shit in the Su family for so many years, but with just a little training, he had become a Huajin master, a young talent. Li Chunfeng had been bickering with Su Qianqian his entire life, and he had to show off this to him. Chapter 131 Jepping is here. Hearing Li Chunfeng's words, Su Yang smiled and walked out of the room. He thought it would be a good opportunity to show off his talent to his father and grandfather, so they wouldn't have to send someone to protect him later. Besides, Su Yang also happened to be going to the Juman Black Market, and he couldn't let his father and grandfather look like idiots, waiting for Su Xuantian there the entire time. Huh? Su Yang, you even have a pet dog. Just as the two were about to leave, Li Chunfeng's gaze fell on the white cat, and a strange expression suddenly appeared on his face. Strange? Why are your dog's eyes so strange? They gave off an indescribable feeling. Of course they were strange. The white cat was now a third-level key training demon beast, its combat power comparable to that of a mid-stage grandmaster. Naturally, it was no ordinary pet dog. Could it be that Li Chunfang noticed something unusual about the white cat? Grandpa Li, it's just an ordinary dog. What's so special about it? Su Yang said with a smile. That's right, maybe it's just my imagination. Li Chunfang smiled softly and said, your dog is quite cute. It should be a teddy, right? Does it have a name? Yes, it's called White Cat, Su Yang replied. Li Chunfang asked in confusion, a brown dog named White Cat? Haha, yes, you young people really know how to come up with names. Li Chunfang smiled and said, I remember Fixun really liked pet dogs, but her previous dog died, and she stopped getting another one because she was afraid she couldn't take care of it. Su Yang, when you and Fixun get married, you can get a pet dog together. Okay, let's go to the Juman black market. Li Chunfang nodded, and then he and Su Yang left the riverside villa. However, Su Yang secretly took note of Li Chunfang's words, thinking that keeping White Cat by his wife's side seemed like a good idea. First, Li Fixun loved pet dogs, so she would be very happy to see White Cat. Second, White Cat was a demonic beast, and could provide close protection for Li Fixun. At this moment, Jiangbei, Dong family manor. As one of the four great families of Jiangbei, the Dong family's influence is truly astonishing, with businesses spread across the region. After all, they're on par with the Su, Li, and Nalan families. The Dong family estate, covering over 12 acres and boasting beautiful landscaping, resembles a small park. Today, a distinguished guest is arriving, and all the senior members of the Dong family are waiting outside, barely daring to breathe. Dong Zikan, a returnee from overseas and the son of the Dong family patriarch, is naturally among them. Dad, who are we waiting for here? Dong Zikan asked curiously. A powerful sect leader, replied the middle-aged man standing in the foreground. His name is Dong Wenxian, the current patriarch of the Dong family and Dong Zikan's father. A powerful sect leader? What is a sect? Dong Zikan asked, puzzled. You've just returned from overseas, so you don't know some things about your family, Dong Wenxian explained. The reason our Dong family has been able to gain a foothold in Jiangbei is entirely due to a sect called the Shadowless Sect. Your grandfather was a disciple of the Shadowless Sect many years ago. After leaving the sect, he founded the Dong family. Thanks to the Shadowless Sect's care, our Dong family has been able to gain a foothold. Of course, we also regularly pay tribute to the Shadowless Sect in exchange for their continued care, Dong Wenxian continued. To put it simply, our Dong family is the Shadowless Sect's affiliated force in the city. As for what an ancient martial arts sect is, I can only tell you that these families in the city may look glorious and powerful, but they can't even afford to fend a small ancient martial arts sect. Even an ancient martial arts sect only needs one master to go out and destroy a large family. Dong Wenxian smirked. The Shadowless Sect we've joined is considered a mid-tier power among ancient martial arts sects, but compared to urban families, it's a formidable force. Do you understand now? I know. Dong Zikan nodded, then asked, Dad, does that mean we don't have to worry about the Su family? Upon arriving in Jiangbei, Dong Zikan had been captivated by Li Fixun's beauty and had been constantly pestering her. But a few days ago, while walking Li Fixun to school, he was discovered by young Master Su and given a beating. Dong Zikan held this grudge in his heart, but he knew young Master Su was someone he couldn't afford to offend, so he didn't dare retaliate. But now, after hearing his father's words, Dong Zikan felt his family's prestige was inflated, and a desire for revenge arose. The Su family, Dong Wenxian chuckled softly. Of course we're not afraid, but unless it's a life or death situation, our Dong family wouldn't want to ask the Shadowless Sect for help. After all, favors are often useless. Also, if we repeatedly ask for help from the Shadowless Sect, they'll think our Dong family is causing trouble in the city. If we incur their resentment, it'll be more trouble than it's worth. Dong Wenxian asked suspiciously, Zikan, why do you ask? Did someone from the Su family offend you? No, Dong Zikan quickly denied. Being beaten was never a good thing. If he could retaliate, telling Dad wouldn't be a problem, but Dad clearly wouldn't use the Shadowless Sect's connections to deal with young Master Su, so Dong Zikan chose to keep it a secret. Yet, Dong Wenxian nodded, then said disapprovingly, Kuner, You've been back in Jiangbei for a while, why haven't you changed? Stop mixing in foreign words when you speak. It's so jarring, I understand, Dad. I won't do it again, Dong Zikin replied respectfully. Dad, can't you just call me father? Dong Wensheng exclaimed angrily. Dong Zikin quickly corrected himself. Yes, father. Well, that's more like it. Dong Wensheng nodded in satisfaction and was about to scold his son again, but then a middle-aged man in a robe suddenly appeared before him. He was in his 50s, carrying a long sword on his back, his eyes piercing, and a terrifying aura emanating from him. Upon seeing him, Dong Wensheng's face instantly filled with respect. He sank to his knees, kowtowed, and said in awe, "Welcome, Senior Jack, welcome, Senior Jack." Behind him, the rest of the Dong family, including Dong Zikin, had clearly arranged this move in advance. They all knelt in unison, shouting in unison. This middle-aged man with a long sword was none other than Jeping, Nalan Wudao's master and elder of the Shadowless sect at this moment. Jeping didn't ask the Dong family to stand. Instead, he looked at Dong Wensheng and asked indifferently, "Master Dong, where's the person I asked you to investigate?" "Senior Jack, the Nine Gates Black Market." Dong Wensheng said tremblingly. "The Nine Gates Black Market, okay, I got it." After receiving the answer, Jeping leaped out of the Dong family manor. When Dong Wensheng looked up, Jeping was nowhere to be seen. He had appeared quickly and disappeared just as quickly, like a dragon that can only be seen from the beginning. Chapter 132 The Shaksu Family Father and Son. Late at night, around 10 o'clock. The Nine Gates Black Market. Here, not only are the items needed by ancient warriors sold, but also foods made from various precious medicinal herbs, though the prices are quite high. Meanwhile, Su Qianqin and Su Shenping sat in front of a stall, staring intently at the passers-by. "Father, we've waited so long and haven't seen Uncle Xuantian. Do you think he's left Jiangbei?" Su Shenping couldn't help but ask, feeling slightly discouraged. It shouldn't be. Su Qianqin was also wondering in his heart, but still said, "Wait a little longer, hold on, maybe I can wait for my brother Xuantian tonight." Yeah, to be honest, Su Shenping wanted to give up, but Su Qianqin spoke, so he had to nod and agree, and then said, "I don't know how Su Yang is doing. Has he become an ancient warrior after eating the Tongshan pill? What's there to care about that kid? He hasn't practiced for so many years. Let alone the Tongshan pill, even if you give him the most powerful elixir, it will be useless." When mentioning Su Yang, Su Qianqin said disdainfully, "According to my guess, if nothing unexpected happens, Su Yang may become an ancient warrior in the early stage of Ming Jin, but he will still be garbage." "That's right." Su Shenping nodded in agreement, then asked doubtfully, "Father, since you think it doesn't make much sense for Su Yang to eat the Tongshan pill, why do you still try every means to get the head of the Li family to give him the Tongshan pill? A Ming Jin ancient martial artist is pretty good, at least he's an ancient martial artist. If he accumulates more precious medicinal herbs in the future, maybe he can reach the Anjin realm." Su Qianqin smiled, "I don't have high expectations for Su Yang. The Anjin realm is enough. Strengthening the body can reduce the chance of illness, which is much better than ordinary people. This." "Father, I'm afraid you just want Su Yang to use the Tongshan Dan to strengthen his body." Su Shenping smiled bitterly, "That's a bit of a waste of talent, you know shit, the body is the capital of everything. Su Yang has been going to the club every few days, and he's already drained. Practicing true Qi can just make up for the loss." Su Qianqin continued, "Also, I mainly want Li Chunfeng to teach Su Yang. If I say it directly, Li Chunfeng may not be willing. Even if he agrees on the surface, he won't try his best." Su Qianqin smiled strategically, "But now it's different. That loser Su Yang ate a Li family heirloom Tongshan Dan. Li Chunfeng must be very painful. To prove the efficacy of the Tongshan pill and to avoid wasting it, he must have spared no effort in teaching Su Yang." Su Qianqin said with a smile. "Father, you're brilliant." Su Shenping suddenly realized something, then suddenly remembered something and asked, "Father, I heard you promised Patriarch Li that if Su Yang became a martial arts master, then his first child with Li Fixun would have the surname Li." "Yes, I did promise that." "Father, you're foolish. How could you do that? If anyone knew my grandson's surname was Li, our Su family would be ridiculed by the entire Jiangbei region." Su Shenping said. "What are you worried about? You don't really think Su Yang can reach the Grandmaster level, do you?" Su Qianqin smiled playfully. "Forget Grandmaster. He'll never reach the dark energy realm. He won't even reach the threshold of transformation energy. If he can become a transformation energy ancient martial artist, Su Qianqin, will be like that. Upon hearing this, Su Shenbing fell silent. He felt that while his father's words looked down on Su Yang, they were also very true. Su Qianqin, Su Shenbing. Just then, Li Shunfeng and Su Yang appeared before them. "Grandpa, Dad," Su Yang greeted with a smile. Su Yang, Su Shenbing frowned upon seeing Su Yang. "This is where ancient warriors hang out. What are you, an ordinary person, doing here?" Su Yang rubbed the bridge of his nose and was about to speak when Li Shunfeng stopped him. "Su Yang, don't say anything." Li Shunfeng smiled, then looked at Su Shenbing and said, "Su Yang is no ordinary person now, what? Su Yang, you've become an ancient warrior? Why didn't I notice?" Su Shenbing exclaimed in surprise. Li Shunfeng did not respond to Su Shenbing, but looked at Su Qianqin beside him, and smiled gently. "Su Beitao, our previous agreement still counts. As long as Su Yang becomes a martial arts master, you will let his first child have the surname Li. It counts." Su Qianqin looked at Su Yang and did not detect any true energy, so he asked, "Li Shunfeng, you haven't let Su Yang take the Tongshan pill yet, right? He is still an ordinary person now. When do you plan to take out the Tongshan pill? Don't be in a hurry." Li Shunfeng smiled playfully, and then said, "Su Beitao, you also know that becoming a martial arts master is not something that can be achieved overnight. It requires a long period of accumulation, and Su Yang and Fixun may get married and have children in the next 2 years. This agreement is a bit unfair to me." Li Shunfeng smiled gently. "How about this? As long as Su Yang takes the Tongshan pill and has the potential to become a martial arts master, the first child will take Fixun's surname. Of course, if you make concessions, I will too. Haven't you always wanted to study my sword manual? If Su Yang doesn't have the qualities of a grandmaster, I'll give it to you. What do you think?" "Haha, no problem," Su Qianqin agreed without hesitation, then couldn't help laughing. Li Shunfeng, you've been smart all your life, but you're foolish for just this moment. You're actually giving me the sword manual for free. Ha ha ha, Su Yang, you've wasted more than 20 years, eating and drinking at the Su family's expense. Now you can finally contribute to the Su family. Not bad, you're still useful. I didn't raise you in vain," Su Qianqin said with a smile. "Okay, that's what you said." When Li Shunfeng heard Su Qianqin's agreement, he immediately revealed a smile of success, and at the same time withdrew his hand from Su Yang's shoulder. "Su Qianqin, haha, you've been fooled, huh? What do you mean?" Su Qianqin frowned slightly. Li Shunfeng laughed. "Look again, what realm is Su Yang at? Just ordinary, what? Hujin, mid-stage?" Su Qianqin's gaze fell on Su Yang, and his smile froze instantly. "Haha, you've been fooled. Su Yang has already taken the Tongshan pill and has instantly reached the mid-stage Hujin stage. His talent is even greater than my grandfather's." Li Shunfeng chuckled triumphantly. "Just now, I placed my hand on Su Yang. I used my key to disrupt your judgment." By then, Su Qianqin had already sensed the fluctuations in Su Yang's ki and was ecstatic. Mid-stage Huajin. This is more than just an ordinary grandmaster. Over 100 years ago, the old patriarch of the Li family took the Tongshan pill and instantly reached the early stages of Huajin, eventually reaching the peak of grandmaster status. And his grandson, Su Yang, had an even higher starting point than that old patriarch. Perhaps he could even break through to grandmaster status and go even further. Su Qianqin was overwhelmed with excitement at this thought, but then he remembered the agreement he had made with Li Shunfeng, and his face darkened. Chapter 133 The Reason Why Su Yang Cultivated. "Li Shunfeng, you old bastard, you actually set me up." "No, the agreement just now doesn't count." Su Qianqin directly regretted it. Upon hearing this, Li Shunfeng gritted his teeth and said, "Su Beitao, you are talking nonsense. You just said it and then turned your face and denied it." "I won't admit it." "What's the matter? Anyway, the child of Su Yang and Feijuan must have the surname Su." "Fuck, you shameless old thing, I don't care about that. The child must have the surname Li." "Humph, if you don't agree, let's fight. Whoever wins has the final say." "Fight me? Do you think I'm afraid of you?" Just like that, Su Qianqin and Li Shunfeng left the Juman black market with their swords drawn. Watching the two people leave, Su Yang paused and said, "Dad, will they be okay?" "No, don't worry. Fighting and bickering are their daily routine. They have been doing this all their lives. Su Shenbing's gaze fell on Su Yang, and he said excitedly, "But you, Su Yang, I didn't expect that your talent is so good. After eating the Tongshan pill, your strength is almost catching up with me. Of course, I just didn't want to practice before. Now that I want to practice, what does it have to do with you?" Su Yang curled his lips arrogantly, and then looked at his father and said disdainfully, "Dad, now you know who the real waste of our Su family is." Fuck. Su Shenbing's face suddenly darkened, and he gritted his teeth and said, "Stinky boy, you dare to mock me? Didn't I just eat the Tongshan pill? That thing has magical effects. If I had eaten it, the effect would definitely be better than yours. You just picked up a bargain, and you really think you are awesome. What's the use of saying so much?" Su Yang mocked him with a father's tone. Dad, you're such a loser. You're over 40, and still only at the late stage of Huijin. Trash, fuck. Say that again." An exasperated Su Shenbing whipped out his belt. "Wow, Dad, you're trying to scare me again. This is the Nine Gates black market. Try to touch me." Su Yang crossed his arms and said with a playful smile, "Don't blame me for not reminding you. Using force is forbidden in the Nine Gates black market, or you'll be sanctioned by the Black Market Alliance." Fuck you. Su Shenbing was furious, but he still put the belt away. Actually, he wasn't really angry. On the contrary, he was incredibly happy. His son had made such great progress, and as a father, he was definitely happy. Thinking of this, Su Shenbing couldn't help but smile. But then, a question suddenly occurred to him, and he asked, puzzled, "Su Yang, this is your first time at the Juman black market. How did you know violence isn't allowed there, eh?" Su Yang paused, then explained with a smile, "I saw Grandpa and Grandpa Li arguing so fiercely, and they didn't even fight at Juman or the black market. So, I figured violence wasn't allowed here. Dad, am I smart?" "Smart as hell," Su Shenbing cursed, but still felt pleased. He then sternly warned, "Su Yang, the ancient martial arts world is complex. You're only in the middle stage of Huijin. While not weak, you're still no match for true masters. You must learn to be humble and not get carried away by your strength." "Okay, I understand," Su Yang nodded. "Also, you must practice diligently and not become complacent or arrogant. You still have a long way to go. Perhaps you can become a truly powerful warrior," Su Shenbing continued. "Do I even need to tell you that, Dad?" "Don't worry, I'll definitely practice hard," Su Yang said seriously. "Yes." Su Shenbing was immediately relieved to hear Su Yang's answer. It seemed his son had grown up. Then, Su Yang added, "I'm going to practice hard and get my body in great shape. Then, when I go to a high-end club, I'll be a force to be reckoned with and stir up trouble. I'm going to make foot massage parlors unable to hide my sight. I'm going to make high-end clubs unable to conceal my ambition. I'm going to make fatigue and kidney deficiency vanish into thin air. I'm going to make strength and invincibility a constant companion," Su Yang said solemnly. "I'm going to make all the technicians in Jiangbei tremble with fear at the mere mention of my name." Su Yang's words grew more and more excited, his expression growing more solemn, his emotions escalating. The last two idioms, with their rhythmic cadence, created a wonderfully charged atmosphere. Su Shenbing was stunned for a moment before he realized what was happening, his face darkening. "You brat, are you practicing ancient martial arts just to deal with the female technicians in high-end clubs?" Su Shenbing demanded, suppressing his anger. Su Yang asked, "What else? What else? Damn it. What else?" Su Shenbing couldn't stand it anymore. It was too hateful. He raised his foot to kick Su Yang. "Dad, do you want to be kicked out of the Nine Gates black market?" Su Yang reminded him hurriedly. Upon hearing this, Su Shenbing slowly lowered his leg, exhaled a few times, and tried to calm himself down. "Su Yang, you little brat, do you really think you're so strong?" Su Shenbing said with a dark face. "I'm not afraid of hitting you. With your strength, you're far behind my uncle Xuantian. My uncle Xuantian is in his 20s, about the same age as you, but he's already a martial arts master. What can you compare with my uncle Xuantian?" Su Shenbing said with a smug smile. "Yes," Su Yang chuckled softly. "Your uncle Xuantian is so awesome, so amazing. He must be a rare talent. I really want to meet him." "Haha, give up on that idea. Who the hell is my uncle Xuantian? Why would he even want to meet you?" Su Shenbing relentlessly attacked. Yes, you're right," Su Yang didn't argue, but instead asked, "Dad, are you going home now?" No, I won't go home until I see Uncle Xuantian, Su Shenbing said seriously, his eyes determined. Is that so? Then I'll go home first. What are you going back for? The technicians at the club need me, Su Yang said seriously. Fuck you, bastard. You've just received benefits from the Li family, can't you just hold yourself back? Su Shenbing cursed, but Su Yang ignored him and turned away from the Nine Gates black market. That brat, Su Shenbing complained, but instead of chasing Su Yang, he sat down and patiently waited for Su Xuantian. I hope Uncle Xuantian will come to the Nine Gates black market tonight. After leaving the Nine Gates black market, Su Yang didn't wander far, intending to find a deserted spot to perform his disguise. But then, he noticed a supremely skilled expert entering the Nine Gates black market. This man, dressed in a long robe and carrying a long sword, emanated an aura so powerful that even Su Yang's heart skipped a beat. So strong, if I want to defeat him, I'm afraid I'll have to perform a blood sacrifice. There's actually such a person in Jiangbei. I wonder what realm he's at, if he's even surpassed the Grandmaster level. Su Yang pondered for a moment, but without stopping, he brushed past a man. 2 minutes later, Su Shenbing sat on a stool, scanning passers-by for a glimpse of Uncle Xuantian. But then, a middle-aged man with a long sword appeared. It was Jeping, staring at Su Shenbing with a cold expression, murderous intent in his eyes. Chapter 134 Su Shenbing is dying. Su Shenbing frowned slightly, vaguely sensing the murderous intent, his expression instantly grim. Then, Su Shenbing stood up, shifting his gaze to the man with a long sword not far away. He asked tentatively, may I ask who you are? Why are you staring at me? You, a late-stage Huijin rubbish, are not qualified to know my identity. Jiping's eyes were icy, and he said calmly, all you need to know is that I'm your killer. Hearing this, Su Shenbing showed no fear, nor did he choose to flee. He knew that the other party's strength far surpassed his own, and he would never be able to escape his grasp. So, Su Shenbing stood still, calmly asking, who sent you? Why are you trying to kill me? You should know. Jeping smiled and said calmly, didn't that important figure come to Jiangbei not long ago? He just didn't want to draw attention and came alone. After all, he was just a young man in his early 20s, so he didn't succeed. Jeping's eyes darkened as he continued, but this time, if I take action, Su Shenbing, you will die. No one in this small Jiangbei can stop me. This is the Nine Gates black market. Even if you're from an ancient martial arts sect, how dare you kill me here? Su Shenbing gritted his teeth and shouted deliberately. Swish, swish, swish. In an instant, he attracted many eyes, and many ancient martial artists looked over with curiosity. Haha, Jeping, unconcerned, chuckled coldly, you overestimate the Nine Gates black market. You know exactly where the powerful figure who ordered me here comes from. I'm working for him, so you think I'd be wary of the Nine Gates black market? Jeping continued, besides, the Nine Gates black market has its own hierarchy. This is just a city-level black market, insignificant to the Nine Gates black market. The guards at the gate are only at the Huijin realm. How dare they stop me? Jeping's face darkened, and he declared arrogantly, even if I kill you here, it won't bring me any trouble. As he finished speaking, Jeping's eyes glared, and he decided to strike, but he didn't use his sword. Because Su Shenbing was no match for him. Jeping spread his palm, and a powerful stream of true energy gathered in it. Then, he raised his hand and threw it out. The energy instantly struck Su Shenbing, emitting a terrifying force. Bang! Su Shenbing had no chance to fight back, and the next moment, the ki blast sent him flying 3 or 4 meters. Puff! As he landed on the ground, Su Shenbing gushed out a pool of blood, his face utterly pale. A single blow had severely wounded Su Shenbing. But Jeping didn't hold back, nor did he choose to kill him instantly. Instead, he unleashed another burst of ki. Bang! Su Shenbing, lying on the ground, had just wiped the blood from his mouth when he was blasted back by the ki blast. His body slid several meters along the ground, his face agonized. Isn't this Su Shenbing, the patriarch of the Su family? He's said to be a late-stage Huijin ancient martial artist. He's only in the late Huijin stage, and yet he was so easily defeated? Who is that attacker? He's so powerful, he must be a grandmaster. Isn't violence forbidden in the Nine Gates black market? Why don't you come out and intervene? Didn't you hear what that guy said? He's not afraid of the Nine Gates black market at all. I'm afraid the 2 guards outside won't dare intervene. The onlookers were buzzing with discussion, eager to watch the excitement. all looking over with interest. The two guards from the Nine Gates Black Market had naturally noticed and hurried over. At this moment, one of the guards, with a fist pump, said, "Senior, this is the Nine Gates Black Market. If you want to fight, please go outside and don't embarrass us." Haha, what a joke. Jeping completely ignored the guards and raised his hand to strike Su Shenping again, causing him to spit blood. Turning to the guard, he asked coldly, "So what if I embarrass you? I've condescended to come to small Jiangbei. How could I take you seriously? Get out of here, pretend nothing happened, or else don't blame me for being rude." Jeping remained expressionless and said in a deep voice, "Don't blame me for not warning you. I'm a close friend of the 5 elders of the Nine Gates Black Market. Even if I were to eliminate a Huijin-level guard like you, the Nine Gates Black Market wouldn't blame me." Believe it or not, as he spoke, Jeping erupted with a powerful aura, pressing down on the guard who had spoken. "I believe it." The guard was terrified, his face grim, but he and the other guard retreated, choosing not to question the matter further. However, it was clear that the two guards were dissatisfied with Jeping, but were simply powerless. "Alright, Su Shenping, let's continue." After sending the two guards away, Jeping's gaze fell on Su Shenping. Su Shenping was now pale, vomiting blood all over the floor, and his breathing was very weak. He forced himself to stand, met Jeping's gaze, and gritted his teeth. "Kill me if you want, why are you hesitating? Haha, that young master said we can't let you die easily. We must torture you first." With that, Jeping flashed and arrived in front of Su Shenping, then suddenly attacked. Crack! 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 Immediately, the sound of bones breaking echoed, and Su Shenping screamed in agony. Bang! Finally, with a cold expression, Jeping slapped Su Shenping away with a palm. Su Shenping's body flew backwards, blood splattered into the air, and he fell heavily to the ground. Now, all his limbs were broken by Jeping. He was in unbearable pain, his eyes were almost blind, and he was dying. The manager of the black market really doesn't dare to stop it. It seems that Su Shenping will die here tonight. Su Qianqin of the Su family is said to be a martial arts master. He was just in the Juman black market, but now he is gone. Even if Su Qianqin shows up, he probably won't be this person's opponent. Yes, Su Qianqin is too old and injured. The smiling Buddha was so arrogant a few days ago, but he didn't step forward to suppress him. In the end, it was Su Xuantian who took action to wipe out the smiling Buddha. By the way, didn't Su Qianqin and Su Xuantian become sworn brothers and become friends regardless of age? Then Su Shenping should be Su Xuantian's nephew. Now that Su Shenping is in trouble, Su Xuantian should not stand idly by when he knows it. Young Master Su Xuantian hasn't been to the black market for several days. How could it be such a coincidence that he just happened to come and rescue Su Shenping? The onlookers have already sentenced Su Shenping to death. Su Shenping, you are quite lucky. You are still alive. Well, torturing people is not my strong point. Let me send you on your last journey. Jeping smiled when he saw that Su Shenping was still alive. Then he gathered his true energy in his palm, intending to kill Su Shenping directly. But at this moment, Su Yang, who had disguised himself as Su Xuantian, appeared. Seeing his father being beaten like this, the anger in Su Yang's heart was instantly ignited. He stared at Jeping with a gloomy and terrifying expression. The whole body exuded a terrifying aura. The air at the scene seemed to be solidified. You are looking for death? Chapter 135 Blood Sacrifice Secret Art. Su Yang was truly furious. He had merged with young Master Su's soul and taken over his body. Su Shenping was his blood relative. Furthermore, despite Su Shenping's constant sarcasm and ridicule during these days of his rebirth, Su Yang felt a deep, paternal love he had never experienced before. Now, seeing Su Shenping lying on the ground, bloodied and miserable, with only his last breath, Su Yang was overcome with rage, his body trembling with anger. Die? Those who tortured my father must die. Only this would quench his rage. HMPH, who the hell did you come from, you son of a bitch? How dare you show me murderous intent? You're so ignorant. Jeping didn't notice Su Yang's energies, treating him as an ordinary person, his eyes filled with contempt. Then, he thrust the energies he had previously gathered to obliterate Su Shenping towards Su Yang. This energies, carrying terrifying power, struck Su Yang directly. Su Yang was already furious, no longer concealing his strength. He raised his hand and shattered the stream of ki. Huh? Jeping was immediately surprised, convinced he had misjudged the young man before him. He looked at Su Yang again, but could detect no trace of ki fluctuations. However, the young man before him possessed a mysterious and terrifying power. "Who are you, and why are you stopping me from killing Su Shenbing?" Jeping asked warily. Su Yang sneered repeatedly, his face as gloomy as water. "My name is Su Xuantian. Remember my name, because you will die at my hands." Su Xuantian. Jeping frowned slightly, clearly unfamiliar with the name. He muttered, "Your strength is at least that of a martial arts master. There aren't many young and talented people in ancient martial arts sects who can withstand my attacks. Which famous mountain are you from?" In response to Jeping's question, Su Yang simply sneered and didn't respond. No matter who you are, if you stand in my way today, you must die." Jeping was still somewhat wary of Su Yang's identity, fearing he came from a terrifying ancient martial arts faction. However, upon realizing the sect his backers belonged to, his fear faded. Just then, Su Yang attacked, first condensing a water blade and suddenly throwing it out. Then, he mobilized the spiritual energy surrounding him and advanced. Jeping, a master after all, reacted instantly and dispelled the water blade with a powerful strike. You have some strength, but unfortunately, you're still a bit behind me." Sensing Su Yang's power, Jeping's eyes sharpened, and he took the initiative to attack. Bang! 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 Instantly, Su Yang and Jeping exchanged 3 moves, sending a cascade of spiritual energy surging through the air. The surrounding ancient martial artists retreated, fearing they would be affected. Su Xuantian has really arrived. This middle-aged man with a long sword is so powerful. The sense of oppression he gives me is even stronger than that of our sect master, who is at the peak of Grandmaster status. Su Xuantian's progress is too rapid. Last time, he seemed to have barely reached the Grandmaster realm, but now he can actually compete with someone who is suspected to be at the peak of Grandmaster status. How could anyone cultivate so quickly? Su Xuantian must have been hiding his strength before. It's truly terrifying. In his early 20s, he already possesses such formidable strength. Looking at the ancient martial arts world, there shouldn't be such a strong young man, right? Everyone at the scene was stunned by the battle before them, their eyes fixed on him, not wanting to miss the exciting scene. Uncle Xuantian is here? The dying Su Shenbing smiled at the sight of Su Xuantian, but his eyelids grew heavy, and he soon passed out. Su Yang heard his father's voice, and then saw that he was unconscious, and his anger intensified. This time, he didn't hide a single bit, completely exposing his strength. Such overwhelming power. You're at least a peak grandmaster. With such talent, you must be a monstrous prodigy from an ancient martial arts sect. Seeing this, Jeping sneered, "Haha, what a shame. I've already reached the half-step Earth sect. You're no match for me." Above Grandmaster, there's another realm, Earth sect. Jeping had cultivated for over 50 years. Holding a high position within the shadowless sect, he'd consumed many aged elixirs and gained opportunities. Earlier this year, he broke through his bottleneck and made the leap to Earth sect. The gap between Grandmaster and Earth sect was unbridgeable, a world of difference. At this realm, one's Zhanki was strengthened and refined to incomparable purity. An Earth sect member could easily annihilate several peak Grandmasters. Therefore, Jeping was confident that Su Yang was no match for him. "Today, I will destroy this prodigy and strangle you in the cradle." As he finished speaking, Jeping's face darkened, his aura growing even more terrifying, and he suddenly launched an attack. Su Yang had long since discerned that Jeping was no ordinary Grandmaster, so he fought with unyielding defiance. Even so, he couldn't defeat Jeping. After holding out for dozens of rounds, he was sent flying by a single palm strike. Puff! Su Yang retreated 5 or 6 meters. As he regained his balance, his blood surged, and he spat out a stream of blood. "This isn't going to work. I need to perform a blood sacrifice, or I'll be slowly worn down by him." With this thought in mind, Su Yang didn't hesitate. His face darkened, and he immediately formed a seal with his hands. Whoosh! Instantly, a mighty gust of wind rose from nowhere, whipping Su Yang's clothes with a rustling sound. Simultaneously, Su Yang's entire body was shrouded in a bloody glow, a breathtaking spectacle in the dim night. Most importantly, his strength was steadily increasing, his aura intensifying, approaching the 5th level of ki training, and his spiritual energy multiplied several times. Noticing Su Yang's change, Jeping's face darkened. Without further hesitation, he rushed to interrupt. But it was too late. The blood sacrifice had been successfully initiated. At this moment, Su Yang roared, and an unprecedented, terrifying force swept through the entire crowd. The surrounding onlookers were all affected, their bodies unsteady and stumbling. Your death has come. After initiating the blood sacrifice, Su Yang entered a frenzy, his eyes bloodshot as he charged at Jeping, his speed several times faster than before. HMPH, just some sorcery, so arrogant. Jeping was shocked, but he feigned composure. He drew his sword from his back and engaged Su Yang. Bang! Clank! Jeping's strength was truly formidable. Even with Su Yang's blood sacrifice, he was unable to crush him, resulting in a draw. This scene deeply shocked everyone present. Half-step Earth Sect Master, oh my god. This man is actually a half-step Earth Sect Master. He's so strong. Su Xuantian is amazing too. He can actually fight a half-step Earth Sect Master to a draw, and he's only in his 20s. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 136, My Sister is in Trouble. My sister is here, must watch. The intelligence was wrong. Young Master Su isn't a Grandmaster, but a half-step Earth cultivator. At this moment, a guard in the crowd said with admiration, the Alliance leader was supposed to be in Jiangbei yesterday, but something unexpected happened in Jiangnan, so she went to deal with it. If the Alliance leader knew young Master Su's true strength, she would have rushed to Jiangbei to meet him, even if the sky fell, the guard said with conviction, reassessing Su Yang's importance. Indeed, another guard echoed, I used to think young Master Su was incredibly talented, but now I know he is. In his early 20s, he can rival a half-step Earth cultivator. I'm afraid even the most outstanding young men in the Fengshan land can't do that. The two guards exchanged words, fully acknowledging Su Yang's talent while also expressing concern for his safety. From their perspective, they naturally hoped Su Yang would win, for no other reason than their displeasure with Jeping. What a dirk. Condescending to visit tiny Jiangbei? Such a disdainful sight. At this moment, the battle between Su Yang and Jeping reached a fever pitch, a truly fierce battle. Both sides were expending considerable energy, especially Su Yang, whose burning blood and essence had noticeably diminished his combat effectiveness. Haha, I wonder how long you can hold out. Jeping's Yanqi was equally depleted, and he gasped for breath. However, his advantage lay in his abundant ki and blood, and he grew more courageous as the fight went on. Oh no! A half-step Earth Sect Master is stronger than I imagined. Su Yang was enveloped in a haze of blood, but he had calmed down and gradually formed a plan. The two continued their fight, the scene still massive, the aftermath ripples spreading outward. After about 30 rounds, Su Yang suddenly revealed a flaw. Jeping, overjoyed, immediately struck Su Yang with a palm strike. Puff! Su Yang's body tumbled back, and upon landing, he spat out a mouthful of blood. His face was utterly pale, and his breath was weak. He seemed to have lost the ability to fight back. Seeing this, the surrounding ancient warriors held their breath, their eyes fixed on him. Young Grandmaster Su Xuantian, is he going to lose? Haha, Su Xuantian, you've finally been defeated by me. Being annihilated by me means you'll die without regrets. Jeping wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, then, longsword in hand, stepped towards Su Yang, his eyes filled with murderous intent. Once he reached Su Yang, he raised his sword high, ready to slit Su Yang's throat and end the battle once and for all. Who told you I lost? Su Yang, who was nearly dead, sneered at the sight. The next moment, he pulled out a sock he had prepared and threw it directly at Jeping. What is this? A sock. Jeping paused, but before he could react, the black sock suddenly exploded with immense force. Boom! With a resounding explosion, Jeping's body was blown away, his body charred and bloody. The longsword slipped from his hand, falling to the ground nearby. Jeping wasn't dead, but lying on the ground, his body twitching and screaming in agony. Everyone at the scene was stunned, all gaping. What happened? A sock exploded. What sock? That must be an ancient talisman. Powerful ancient martial arts sects all have them in stock, but in limited quantities. Su Xuantian actually possesses something like this. This proves his sect must be quite powerful. Why am I laughing? I've never seen ancient martial artists throw socks in a fight. Ha ha ha, I'm afraid this half-step Earth sect master never dreamed he'd be defeated by a sock. At this moment, Su Yang stood up, a playful smile on his face. He no longer looked dying. While he had indeed been defeated by Jeping, he wasn't completely weakened. He had just pretended to end the fight quickly. This sock was a talisman Su Yang had crafted from 4 energy stones, and it contained terrifying power. However, he only had one such talisman, so he didn't want to waste it. He had to strike Jeping precisely to have a chance of victory. So, Su Yang took the initiative to reveal his weakness, thus luring Jeping into complacency. He succeeded, and Jeping fell for it, taking the full damage from the sock talisman, severely wounding himself and rendering him incapable of combat. With his plan successful, Su Yang strode towards Jeping, bent down to pick up his sword, his face sullen. You just said that torture isn't your strong suit. Excuse me, torture. Su Yang narrowed his eyes and said coldly, it is my strong suit. With that, Su Yang raised his sword, wielded it, and severed Jeping's left leg. Ah! Jeping screamed in agony, his earlier arrogance gone. He begged for mercy. Su Xuantian, please let me go, don't kill me. I promise I won't be your enemy again. Please let me go, haha. Su Yang sneered and shook his head, his face darkening. If you break Su Shenbing's limbs, I'll cut you into pieces. With that, Su Yang raised his sword and struck again and again, slicing Jeping into 8 pieces, avoiding vital points with every strike, leaving him still alive. You're so cruel, Jeping screamed. I told you, torture is my forte. With a blank expression, Su Yang used his ultimate swordsmanship to torture Jeping to death. The speed was so great that even though Jeping's flesh was mangled, he remained conscious. At that moment, Jeping was truly miserable. Of all his body, only his heart remained intact. Terror filled his eyes as he slowly died in despair. Everyone present was horrified by this scene, both admiring and fearing Su Xuantian. This is what happens when you offend me. Upon seeing this, Su Xuantian dropped his sword and strode over to Su Shenbing. After a careful examination, he breathed a sigh of relief. His father was not seriously injured, merely unconscious from severe injuries. His broken limbs could be reattached. This man disregarded the rules of the 9 Gates black market, publicly assaulted and threatened the guards. He has now been killed by Master Su. He deserved it entirely. At this moment, 2 guards approached, first shouting, then turning to Su Yang and clasping their fists in gratitude, saying, "Thank you, Master Su, for eliminating this man for the 9 Gates black market." Just now, Su Yang and Jeping had fought in the black market, both violating regulations. This was Su Yang's second murder there, and he should have been punished. However, the guards favored Su Yang, completely absolving him of responsibility. Yes, Su Yang nodded. The 2 men were so polite, he naturally didn't bother them. Instead, he said calmly, "Prepare a quiet room for me. I need to heal Su Shenbing." Yes, one of the guards accepted, making an inviting gesture and respectfully saying, "Young Master Su, please come this way." One guard then led Su Yang to the room while the other stayed behind to clean up the mess. Soon, Su Yang arrived at a quiet room and immediately chose to nourish his father with spiritual energy. Within minutes, he was done. Dad's physique is good. After 2 weeks of recuperation, he should be able to get out of bed and walk again. Su Yang wiped the sweat from his forehead and smiled with relief. He was also thankful that he had saved a collection of talismans, otherwise he might have been in trouble tonight. Ancient warriors, after reaching a certain level of cultivation, are still very powerful. He must be more careful in the future. The effects of Su Yang's blood sacrifice had not yet dissipated, so he could probably hold out until tomorrow morning. Within that time, his combat power would be comparable to that of a half-step Earth sect master. However, once the power from the blood sacrifice wore off, Su Yang would be in for a rough patch. He would need at least 3 months of recuperation to replenish his lost blood and essence. Therefore, he planned to stay at the 9 Gates black market during this time and not go anywhere else. But just then, Su Yang's phone rang. It was a text message from his elder sister, Su Jingguo. It read, "Little brother, take care of yourself. You'll be walking this path alone." Su Yang frowned slightly. He had felt a little strange about his elder sister these past few days. Normally, even if she didn't answer his calls, she would always call back afterwards. But lately, his calls went unanswered, and his texts were met with only one reply. Now, another text like this from his elder sister. What was going on? Could it be that his elder sister was in danger? Suddenly, a dark suspicion seized Su Yang's mind, and a gloom clouded his expression. Especially since he was in the state of blood sacrifice, his eyes bloodshot. When he was angry, the air around him felt like an icy cave. A text message would never come without a reason. My elder sister might really be in trouble, or even. Thinking of this, Su Yang became even more angry, and the huge aura made the objects in the room tremble. If my elder sister is really in danger, I must go to the border, I must go. Over the years, my elder sister has been better to young Master Su than anyone else. No matter what trouble young Master Su gets into, my elder sister will stand on his side without any bottom line. Even if Su Yang makes a big fuss, my elder sister will take it for him without hesitation. Such a sister is hard to find even with a lantern. My elder sister has paid so much for young Master Su, and now, it's time to repay my elder sister. But the border is so far away, how can I get there? Moreover, I don't know what happened to my elder sister or where she is. What should I do? Su, Mr. Su. At this time, the guard standing outside was frightened by Su Yang's breath. He hurriedly asked in a low voice through the door, what happened? Hearing the voice, Su Yang calmed down. The Nine Gates black market is so powerful that they should be able to find out something, right? So, Su Yang said lightly, you, come in. Yes, the guard pushed the door open and walked in, then bent down and asked respectfully, Mr. Su, what can I do for you? Su Yang didn't waste any words and went straight to the point. Does your Nine Gates black market have any eyes and ears on the border? Reporting to Mr. Su, the border of China is divided into 4 major areas: East Border, West Border, South Border, and North Border. I wonder which area you are talking about. Su Yang remembered that his elder sister mentioned that she was guarding the East Border this year, so he said, East Border, yes. Although the guard was very curious about why Mr. Su asked this question, he could feel Mr. Su's anger and knew that something important must have happened, so he didn't waste time asking, but said truthfully, we at the Nine Gates Black Market have a trading place on the border of East Border. Mr. Su, if you have anything, just tell me, okay, then I won't be polite. Su Yang nodded and said, there's a female general in Dongjiang named Su Jinggu, who is revered as the goddess of war. I need to know her current situation and whether she's in danger. Can you find out? Yes, the guard said seriously, all kinds of important news are also traded on the Juman black market. As long as it happens in China, there's nothing that the Juman black market can't find out. Master Su, I'll take care of this, but it will take some time. How long? 10 minutes, the guard added. 10 minutes at most. Okay, Su Yang looked at the guard and said, thank you for your trouble. I won't let you work in vain. If you can help me find some information about Su Jinggu, I'll give you a chance. Good fortune? Master Su was a master who could wipe out a half-step earth sect cultivator. The good fortune he was talking about would surely be of great use to him. After hearing Su Yang's words, the guard was ecstatic and excited. Mr. Su, please wait a moment. I'll check. The guard hurried out of the room and activated the Nine Gates Black Market's unique communication system. A few minutes later, he reappeared in the room, his expression extremely solemn. Master Su, something terrible has happened. The war goddess you asked to investigate led 300 elite soldiers into a small border town of Country D about 2 days ago, but was trapped outside the city. The guard continued, over the past 2 days, Country D has been attacked from both inside and outside, and the 300 elite soldiers have suffered heavy casualties, and the war goddess was also seriously injured. So, to reduce unnecessary casualties on their side, Country D didn't rush forward. Instead, they trapped the war goddess, intending to trap her and the remaining Chinese elite soldiers outside the city. The guard analyzed, given the war goddess's condition, she probably won't be able to hold out for much longer. She'll collapse completely by early morning at the latest. What? Su Yang was immediately furious when he heard this, but he didn't let his anger get the better of him. Instead, he asked, didn't China send reinforcements? No, the guard responded. The news I received is that the war goddess gave up on the rescue and instructed the border garrisons not to come to her rescue, because Country D has already taken precautions, and the location of the heroine goddess of war is Country D's territory. Sending more troops will only lead to danger. After hearing these words, Su Yang nodded, and then asked in confusion, haven't the masters of China been dispatched? Mr. Su, I'm afraid you don't know that ancient warriors above the Grandmaster level are not allowed to participate in this level of war. This is an agreement between China and Country D, and both sides must abide by it, the guard said with a wry smile. I see. Upon hearing this, Su Yang's eyes instantly turned cold, and a sinister smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. Masters above the Grandmaster level cannot be dispatched, right? Haha. Okay. I'm going to East Xinjiang tonight to see who can stop me. Peas, this is the content of 2 chapters, combined together. Don't forget to send free gifts, the kind that don't cost money. I have conceived the subsequent plot and will never let you down. Chapter 137 Arriving in East Xinjiang. Thinking of this, Su Yang looked at the guard and said calmly, What's your name? My surname is Liu, and my given name is Wei. Liu Wei, the guard replied. Well, Liu Wei, I'd like to go to East Xinjiang. Can you arrange it for me? Su Yang asked. Yes, to strengthen the connections between the various branches of the Nine Gates Black Market and facilitate the transfer of goods. Each branch has been equipped with a state-of-the-art helicopter, Liu Wei said respectfully. Young Master Su, if you're going to East Xinjiang, I can fly you there in a helicopter. Okay, Su Yang nodded in satisfaction. Then, his eyes fell on Liu Wei and he said, Thank you for the information. I told you earlier that your efforts would not be in vain. Now it's my turn to fulfill my promise. As soon as he finished speaking, Su Yang was not stingy. He immediately condensed a stream of spiritual energy and sent it into Liu Wei's body. Currently, Su Yang was a cultivator at the 4th level of key training, but in his blood sacrifice state, he was infinitely close to the 5th level of key training. The spiritual energy within him was extremely powerful. Now Su Yang had the ability to help a cultivator at the Huijin realm break through. Liu Wei had indeed been of great assistance, investigating his sister's situation and later flying him to East Xinjiang by helicopter. Su Yang didn't like to owe favors, so he sent a stream of spiritual energy to help him break through. Hiss! At that moment, Liu Wei felt a chill run through his body, as if a strange energy had entered his body, helping him break through a bottleneck that had held him for years. A moment later, Liu Wei sensed his own realm and was stunned, overjoyed. Huijin. Peak. I've leapt beyond the late Huijin stage and directly reached the peak of Huijin. Liu Wei was overjoyed, his excitement inexpressible. Previously, he and another guard had been equally powerful, only at the middle Huijin stage, stuck there for years, unable to break through. But now, he had reached the peak of Huijin, his strength increasing by more than 10-fold. Liu Wei knew all this was thanks to young Master Su. Young Master Su's methods were uncanny. Not only was he powerful himself, he could also easily help others break through. It was simply unheard of. Young Master Su, overwhelmed with emotion, Liu Wei knelt on the ground, tears welling in his eyes. He solemnly clasped his fists and said, I cannot thank you enough for your kindness. From now on, as long as I don't disobey the orders of the alliance leader, I will obey you unwaveringly. Get up. You deserve this. Su Yang gestured for Liu Wei to rise, then urged, the helicopter is parked over there. Let's go now. Yes, Liu Wei respectfully agreed and led Su Yang to the deepest part of the Nine Gates Black Market. There, in an open area, sat a gray helicopter, emblazoned with the Nine Gates Black Market's distinctive logo. Young Master Su, this is our Nine Gates Black Market helicopter. It's the fastest helicopter currently in service, capable of reaching 480 kilometers per hour, Liu Wei introduced it. Yes, Su Yang nodded, then asked doubtfully, I remember every country has an aviation bureau. Will we be intercepted if we fly so brazenly to East Xinjiang? No, Liu Wei shook his head. This helicopter has the logo of our Nine Gates Black Market. It's registered with all the countries and is authorized to fly between them. Besides, young Master Su, there's no need to worry about arousing suspicion. Our Nine Gates Black Market helicopters frequently go to East Xinjiang, transporting ancient martial arts supplies. So even if we're discovered, it's no big deal. As long as I deny it, no one can provide evidence proving that I took you there, Liu Wei smiled. That's best, Su Yang agreed and immediately entered the cabin. He said calmly, before we leave, take me to the Riverside Villa area. I need to bring a helper. Yes, Liu Wei agreed with awe. He could probably guess that young Master Su was going to rescue Su Jingguo. Initially, Liu Wei was worried about whether young Master Su would be in danger if he went alone, but now that he knew he had help, he felt relieved. Young Master Su is incredibly powerful, so his helpers should also be masters of the same level, right? But soon, Liu Wei was dumbfounded. because after the helicopter landed at the riverside villa, Su Yang jumped down, picked up a dog and returned to the cabin. Moreover, the dog was a little teddy. Are you kidding me? Going to the battlefield to rescue people with a pet dog? If it was a big wolfhound, Tibetan Mastiff or other large dog, Liu Wei could still accept it, at least it could bite to death 1 or 2 soldiers of Country D. But what's the point of bringing a teddy over? A 3-year-old child can hold down a teddy and beat it up, right? Although he was confused, Liu Wei did not ask, because he knew that young Master Su must have his own reasons for doing things. We can go now, Su Yang said, cradling Teddy in his arms. Also, arrange for someone to take good care of Su Shenbing. Yes, I've already assigned Wang Soni to guard the room, and I've also notified Su Qianqin, Liu Wei added. Wang Sai is the guard with me. I'm sure Su Qianqin will see Su Shenbing soon. You don't have to worry about his safety. Okay, let's go. To East Xinjiang, Su Yang nodded with satisfaction. Yes, Liu Wei agreed, and immediately started the helicopter. The propellers hummed, and soon it soared high into the air. Then, the helicopter cut through the clouds, heading straight for China's East Xinjiang. Sister, I'm coming. You have to hold on. Inside the cabin, Su Yang prayed silently, stroking the white cat's fur to soothe his anxiety. Tonight, during the blood sacrifice, he would be as if divinely aided, unleashing power beyond his own capabilities. But by tomorrow morning, when the blood sacrifice is over, he would suffer the after effects, depleting his vital energy and blood, and entering a period of unprecedented weakness. During this period, Su Yang would be very weak, so he brought the white cat with him. The white cat was now a 3rd-level key training demon beast, comparable in strength to a mid to late stage grandmaster. It was quite formidable, and bringing it along provided an extra layer of protection. Meanwhile, the news of Su Xuantian's slaying of the half-step earth sect spread throughout Jiangbei, even reaching ancient warriors in surrounding provinces. There's a Su Xuantian in Jiangbei, in his 20s, who actually killed a half-step earth sect master. What a terrifying talent! Su Qianqin is truly astute, worthy of being Jiangbei's top expert. He swore brotherhood to Su Xuantian ahead of time, bringing him into the Su family's fold. I'm afraid the Su family's dominance will be unshakable for the next 100 years. Who is that mysterious expert, and why did he want to kill Su Shenbing? Did the Su family offend an ancient martial arts sect? Probably. Su Qianqin was injured a while ago. The attacker was also a young man, presumably a young master from an ancient martial arts sect. The Su family has powerful enemies on one side and powerful allies on the other. I don't know whether to be happy or sad. How could Su Qianqin not know about such a serious incident? He and Li Chunfang had already gone to the Nine Gates Black Market and retrieved the unconscious Su Shenbing, taking him back to the Su family estate. They planned to wait for Su Shenbing to wake up and then inquire about what had happened. About 4 hours later, at 3 in the morning, a gray helicopter appeared over Dongjiang and slowly descended. Then, Su Yang walked out of the helicopter with a gloomy face and a terrifyingly cold look in his eyes. Chapter 138. Why bury the bones in my hometown? Young Master Su, this is the border of East Xinjiang. 20 kilometers further east is the city of Country D. Liu Wei followed closely behind him, stepping down from the cockpit and respectfully saying, Su Jingguo is currently below the city, surrounded by tens of thousands of Country D soldiers. I can only take you this far. If we go any further, I'm afraid it will attract the attention of Country D's aviation department, Liu Wei explained. It's fine for me, but doing so will cause trouble for the Nine Gates Black Market. I hope young Master Su will understand, but, young Master Su, don't worry. I've already arranged a car for you. You can drive there in just over 10 minutes, Liu Wei added. Well, I'm very grateful for taking me here, Su Yang nodded gently, his gaze falling on Liu Wei. He continued, I'll remember this favor today. When I have the chance, I'll help you reach the Grandmaster level, Grandmaster. Grandmaster. Upon hearing this, Liu Wei was overjoyed, so excited he didn't know what to say. After a few seconds' pause, he gratefully said, Thank you, young Master Su, you're welcome. Su Yang said calmly, Where's the car? I'm in a hurry, young Master Su, please come this way. Without hesitation, Liu Wei led Su Yang to an unlicensed jeep. Sister, hold on, Su Yang thought to herself, then said goodbye to Liu Wei and sped off in the jeep, heading straight for the border town of Country D. White Cat sat in the passenger seat. Looking at young Master Su's demeanor, He must be going to rescue Su Jingguo. They both have the surname Su. Is there a connection? Earlier in Jiangbei, young Master Su had me park the helicopter at the Riverside Villa area. He entered a villa. Shouldn't that villa belong to the Su family? Su Xuantian, young Master Su, young Master Su. Could it be that young Master Su is Su Yang, the eldest son of the Su family? After Su Yang left, Liu Wei stared in the direction he had gone, unable to resist analyzing. But then, Liu Wei denied his own guess, smiling bitterly and shaking his head repeatedly. I'm really confused. It's common knowledge that young Master Su is a super playboy. How could he be the same person as the young Grandmaster? Moreover, Su Xuantian is no ordinary Grandmaster. He's a peerless genius who can even kill a half-step earthly master. Presumably, Su Xuantian obtained the right to live in the Riverside Villa because of his sworn brotherhood with the old patriarch of the Su family, Su Qianqian. That's why he rescued Su Jingguo. After all, Su Jingguo is his granddaughter according to seniority. Thinking of this, Liu Wei felt relieved and felt that this explanation made sense. However, he began to worry about Su Xuantian. According to the information I received, Country D mobilized 70,000 to 80,000 soldiers to deal with Su Jingguo, led by 2 grandmasters. Grandmasters are nothing. Young Master Su can kill them easily, but 80,000 soldiers are difficult to deal with. Even if they just stand still and let young Master Su kill them, he won't be able to kill them all. Liu Wei's face was grim. Besides, this small border town in Country D is home to a supremely powerful individual whose strength the Nine Gates black market hasn't fully investigated. If a desperate struggle truly unfolds, young Master Su will likely suffer. No. Young Master Su possesses incredible talent. We cannot allow him to perish like this. I'll inform the alliance leader and ask for his decision. Liu Wei gritted his teeth, his resolve strong. He immediately returned to the Nine Gates black market's base in eastern Xinjiang and activated its internal communications. At this moment, Country D, at the gates of Bihei City. A massive, imposing army of 80,000 men, a mighty force, trapped a group of Chinese soldiers in battle uniforms outside the city gates. Furthermore, the Bihei city gates were sealed, and rows of soldiers watched intently from above. However, these Chinese soldiers showed no sign of fear. Even drenched in blood, their gazes remained fierce, sharp, and determined. Standing at the forefront was a female general clad in fiery red armor. She was tall, about 1.75 meters, her long hair tied back. Her features were exquisite and beautiful, her bearing a heroic bearing, and her brows radiated a heroic spirit that rivaled that of a man. She was Su Jingguo, China's first and only female general in recent years. Since joining the army, Su Jingguo had led troops in battle, defended the frontiers, and achieved remarkable success, earning her the title of female god of war. But today, Su Jingguo was pale, her battle robe stained with blood, and she looked utterly disheveled. Behind her were the 300 soldiers she had originally brought with her, and now there were still over 100, all in a similar state, covered in blood and in a state of utter misery. For the past 2 days, they had withstood repeated attacks from the D country soldiers. Though they had suffered heavy casualties, they had also slain tens of thousands of D country's elite troops. 300 men, facing an overwhelming force, remained undaunted, fighting bravely and slaughtering the enemy. These were Su Jingguo's personal guards. They ranged from men to women, young to old, but they all shared a common name: Chinese soldiers. Soldiers, this time I was too impulsive, causing you to be trapped here with me. At this moment, Su Jingguo held the long sword in the corner of his eye, and said with guilt on his face, I am guilty. I'm sorry, General, don't say that. It's not a pity to die for killing the enemy, General. The military advisor of Country D is cruel. He slaughtered the people in the border areas of our China and used their blood to practice. It is inhumane. You heard the news, so you lost your mind in anger and led us here to capture and kill the military advisor of Country D. This is not your fault. Yes, you are not guilty. Not to mention you, we are also furious. Even if you don't bring a team here, we will come secretly. The military advisor of Country D slaughtered our people so cruelly. He must pay the price and wash his crimes with blood. General Jingguo, why should we bury our bones in our hometown? There are green mountains everywhere in the world. It is a supreme honor for us to be with you, even if we die in a foreign land, several surviving generals said with tears in their eyes. Haha, why bother burying your bones in your hometown? Su Jingguo laughed heartily. then raised the blood-stained sword in her hand and said coldly, "Everyone, no more nonsense. The soldiers of Country D will soon rush up. We will die heroically, and be Chinese in the next life. Be Chinese in the next life. Be Chinese in the next life. Be Chinese in the next life." More than 100 soldiers covered in blood roared passionately. Everyone was like a dragon, with eyes full of raging anger. They knew that they would surely die tonight, and there was no possibility of survival. But they are not afraid. Dying for China is their ultimate belief. Dying on the battlefield, soldiers are fearless. Ps. I participated in the Suzhou Network Riders Association's field trip today, which delayed the time. Wait for me to update tomorrow. There will be climaxes one after another, and I promise not to let you down. Chapter 139. Who heard her? Beneath the city walls, Su Jingguo and over 100 Chinese soldiers stood with resolute eyes, remaining impassioned despite facing tens of thousands of enemy troops. At this moment, the dense mass of Country D soldiers seemed to sense the Chinese soldiers' murderous intent, each of them with a solemn expression. Even though the enemy outnumbered them by hundreds or even thousands, they still exchanged glances, their fear evident, because they were terrified of being killed. Just before, tens of thousands of them had already perished at the hands of the Chinese soldiers, their ferocity terrifying them. Su Jingguo, in particular, was terrifying, a killing machine. Wherever her sword passed, rivers of blood flowed. Fear permeated the Country D camp, and no one dared to act rashly. Now, atop the city walls, two middle-aged masters in Country D uniforms gazed down at Su Jingguo and the Chinese soldiers below with amusement. To them, these men were trapped, unable to escape. The female war god, haha, is nothing more than that. She is just a reckless man. She dares to break into Country D with 300 people. She doesn't know whether she lives or dies, one of the masters said disdainfully. You can't say that. Since Su Jingguo joined the army, she has put a lot of pressure on us. She is an excellent opponent, both in leading troops in battle and in personal strength. Another master chuckled lightly and said, the reason she was so reckless this time was that she was completely blinded by anger. That's right. The previous master thought more about it carefully, nodded in agreement, and then smiled playfully. In the final analysis, it is still military advisor Chen who is very clever. He knew that we had tried every way to deal with Su Jingguo but failed, so he took action himself. With just a small trick, he lured Su Jingguo out. He is worthy of being the think tank of our Country D. Military advisor Chen also has his own purpose. He has practiced a special evil skill that requires the blood of living people, but he stays in the imperial capital of Country D all day. How can he have such resources? Another laughed and said, but it's different here. We are close to the border of China. The people over there are not of our race. We can kill them if we want. Not only do we not have to take responsibility, but we can also strike China. It's killing two birds with one stone. No, it's killing three birds with one stone. First, military advisor Chen has come infinitely close to becoming a half-step Earth sect. Second, he has suppressed the resistance of the Chinese people, causing panic among their ordinary people. Furthermore, he has lured Su Jingguo here. He has achieved 3 goals in one go, the powerful master said proudly. Haha, that's true. You're worthy of being military advisor Chen? The Grandmaster on the left laughed arrogantly, then turned his gaze to Su Jingguo and said curiously, Su Jingguo's strength is on par with the two of us. If we take action and spend some effort, we can definitely take her down. Once Su Jingguo dies, those so-called Chinese soldiers, no matter how brave they are, will lose their faith and become a pile of loose sand. They are nothing to be feared, the Grandmaster on the left asked puzzledly, but why didn't military advisor Chen let us kill Su Jingguo, but let her lead people to fight with the soldiers of Country D? Haha, I've heard a little about this. The Grandmaster on the right smiled first, then replied, our military advisor Chen has taken a fancy to Su Jingguo and wants to take her for himself, so she can't be killed. Then just inform us in advance and we won't kill her. Why drag it out for so long, causing our Country D to lose more than 10,000 soldiers? To this, the Grandmaster on the left simply replied, military advisor Chen is only a hair's breadth away from reaching the half-step Earth sect stage. He needs the blood of 10 or 20,000 people. Upon hearing this, the Grandmasters nearby fell silent, no longer questioning. After all, military advisor Chen's actions were dishonorable, allowing the enemy to slaughter his compatriots just to advance further. If word of this were to get out, it would undoubtedly resent the citizens of Country D, and perhaps even lead to punishment. Some things are best left to one's own understanding. Excessive discussion can lead to trouble, even death. 3:20. The time has arrived. The final charge may begin, a martial arts grandmaster announced. Immediately, the grandmaster next to him raised his hand slightly, then brought it down heavily, uttering a single word in an icy voice, "Kill." With those words, the Country D soldiers on the scene charged forward recklessly. The military order was as firm as a mountain, they dared not disobey. "Soldiers, kill," Su Jingguo growled, then, without further ado, charged at the forefront, longsword in hand. Over 100 Chinese soldiers followed closely behind. Suddenly, the cries of battle were deafening, and the battlefield soon became a river of blood and corpses. Su Jingguo alone was as powerful as 1,000 troops. The soldiers behind her were all top-notch masters, each one of the Huajin realm. Therefore, the soldiers of Country D were powerless to resist and fell row after row. However, their sheer numbers were too great, and as soon as one row fell, another quickly took its place. While the Chinese soldiers were formidable, they were still human, and their strength had its limits. Furthermore, they were already exhausted. As a result, after several attacks, the Chinese soldiers suffered casualties, leaving only 80 or 90 men still standing firm on the battlefield, determined to defend the last remaining resistance of the Chinese soldiers. About 15 minutes later, an old voice rang from within the city walls. "It's time to close the net. Go ahead and kill them all, leaving only Su Jingguo alive." As the voice echoed, an elderly man in a purple robe suddenly appeared from the city walls. His face was covered in wrinkles, with only one eye, and a gloomy aura emanated from him. This man was Chen Shangian, the military advisor and advisor of Country D. At this moment, a faint glow of blood shone from him, and his gloomy aura was chilling. Yes, the two grandmasters who had been standing on the city wall, not daring to disobey Chen Shangian's order, leaped down from the tower. Both of them were mid-grandmasters, naturally capable of crushing the Chinese soldiers. In just 2 minutes, only a little over 40 of Su Jingguo's elite troops remained. "You deserve to die." Su Jingguo had noticed the two men long ago, but she was entangled by the Country D soldiers, unable to free herself to provide support. Her eyes burned bloodshot with rage. Puff, puff, puff. At this moment, she slashed through 10 enemies with a single sword strike, her eyes cold as she charged towards the grandmasters of Country D. Unfortunately, the two men refused to confront her directly, continuing to hunt down the Chinese elite soldiers while they engaged. Before long, Su Jingguo was the only Chinese soldier left at the scene, the others had all died tragically. Su Jingguo's own injuries worsened under the combined attack of the two masters. Puff. At this moment, Su Jingguo was half kneeling on the ground, leaning on her longsword, her armor drenched in blood. The moonlight shone like water on her battle robe, revealing a chilling and particularly miserable feeling. Now, in addition to being seriously injured, she was exhausted and didn't even have the strength to lift her longsword. "Stop, leave Su Jingguo to me." At this moment, Chen Shangian jumped down from the city wall and strode towards Su Jingguo. Su Jingguo looked at Chen Shangian, knowing that he was the military strategist of Country D who had massacred her compatriots, and she gritted her teeth. But even with all her strength, she couldn't stand up, and eventually fell to the ground, her consciousness blurred. Was she going to die? Su Jingguo smiled miserably. Death is not scary, but she is unwilling to do so, unwilling to die like this, because the great hatred of countless ordinary people in China has not been avenged, and the military advisor of Country D is not dead yet. But she is already powerless. "Little brother, I can't protect you in this life, see you in the next life." National affairs, family affairs. After recalling the national hatred, Su Jingguo thought of Su Yang, and tears instantly welled up in her eyes, and she couldn't speak. Finally, she took a look at the longsword in her hand, closed her eyes in despair, and planned to end her life. Who hurt her? At this moment, a cold and angry voice suddenly sounded at the scene. "Su Yang, here he comes." He stepped on the corpse on the ground, his face as gloomy as water, his eyes surging with murderous intent, and he walked towards Su Jingguo step by step. Chapter 140. Give me your hand and I will take you home. Here he comes. Su Yang has arrived. He bore Su Xuantian's face, a stern expression. A fierce aura emanated from him, a chilling chill that felt like falling into an icy cave. The air around him seemed to freeze. Swish, swish, swish. In an instant, Countless eyes darted over. But these Country D soldiers dared not meet Su Yang's gaze. A mere glance and then they lowered their heads in panic. Furthermore, wherever Su Yang passed, the formation of Country D soldiers spontaneously parted, allowing him passage. The vast army of 70 to 80,000 men, faced with a single individual, was utterly terrified. No one dared to stop Su Yang. The two martial arts masters who had hunted down the Chinese soldiers also stared at Su Yang with grave expressions, wary. Despite their strength, they hadn't detected the fluctuations in Su Yang's inner ki. But they knew this young man, who had suddenly appeared, was no ordinary person. Su Yang brought a powerful sense of oppression to them, something no ordinary person could possibly possess. Chen Shangyuan, the military advisor of Country D, paused and stared at Su Yang from afar, speechless. He studied him closely, his eyes filled with surprise and heightened vigilance. I'm so close to reaching the half-step earthly sect, yet I can't fathom this young man's depth. He seems to possess a formidable power. Chen Shangyuan frowned slightly, sensing Su Yang's extraordinary power and therefore refraining from a rash attack. Amidst the sea of blood, Su Jingguo heard Su Yang's voice and slowly opened her eyes. Who is this man? He feels so familiar, yet I'm certain I don't know him. From the look of him, is he here to save me? Su Jingguo temporarily abandoned the thought of suicide, her gaze fixed on the young man approaching. And so, under the gaze of the crowd, Su Yang stepped over the bodies of Country D soldiers and approached Su Jingguo. As his gaze fell on her sister, the sharpness and ferocity in his eyes vanished, replaced by a touch of tenderness. He bent down, stretched out his right hand, and with a gentle smile on his face, he said softly, "Give me your hand, I will take you home." Familiar. Too familiar. This smile, this tone of voice, how come they are so similar to my younger brother? However, he and my younger brother look so different, and their temperaments are also very different. What's more, my younger brother is just an ordinary person, who has never set foot in ancient martial arts, while the young man in front of him dared to break in here alone, and his aura shocked the whole audience. He must be no simple character. Who is he? Su Jingguo did not stretch out her hand, but looked up at Su Yang and asked weakly, "You, who are you?" "The one who saved you," Su Yang said softly, and chose not to reveal his identity to his elder sister. But it was not that he did not want to tell his elder sister, but there were so many people at the scene and it would not be too late to tell her later. "Save me." Su Jingguo looked at the young man in front of her and asked in confusion, "Do I know you? Or rather, who sent you?" "Was it the commander-in-chief?" "I know you. No one sent me here. I came here by myself. Why don't I remember seeing you before? And why did you save me?" Su Jingguo was even more confused. "I'll answer these questions later. You are seriously injured now, so you should have a good rest first," Su Yang said softly. "I will take you away from here, believe me. No one can stop me, I won't go." Su Jingguo shook her head, coughed up a mouthful of blood, her face turned paler, and then she said stubbornly, "This time I brought people to Country D to kill Chen Shangyuan, the military advisor of Country D. He committed heinous killings on the border of China. Countless ordinary people died at his hands and became nourishment for him to improve his strength. How many families in China have been torn apart because of this, and how many people have lost their families because of him? What's more, the 300 soldiers who came with me all died here in battle and died heroically." Su Jingguo's voice was weak, but she said righteously, "How can I have the face to live in disgrace?" Seeing his sister so angry, Su Yang moved his gaze to Chen Shangyuan and looked at him seriously. This person has a bloody glow on his body and a gloomy aura. He must have practiced some evil skills. His evil skills are too inferior and full of loopholes. It must be the way of ancient martial arts. Compared with the all-powerful magic skills of those demons in the Xuantian immortal realm, it is not worth mentioning. Moreover, this person is only at the peak of the Grandmaster and has not set foot in the Earth sect. With my current strength, he can be killed. Thinking of this, Su Yang retracted his gaze, looked at his elder sister, and smiled lightly. "If I kill him, will you go back to China with me?" He is an ancient martial artist who is infinitely close to the half-step Earth sect and is hiding very deeply. I didn't know his strength before I brought people here. Are you sure you can kill him? Su Jingguo's eyes lit up. Yes, Su Yang nodded and said, "Killing him is not difficult. Moreover, as long as you go back with me, I can kill at least half of the 80,000 D country soldiers here and avenge the dead Chinese martyrs." "One half?" Su Jingguo was even more surprised when she heard this, and asked in surprise, Can you kill so many enemy soldiers alone? Su Yang smiled lightly and said, I have a helper. The true energy of ancient warriors is limited. Even with 2 people, it is impossible. Su Jingguo was talking when she suddenly saw brown-haired Teddy jump out of Su Yang's arms. She was stunned for a moment and murmured, you go to the battlefield with a pet. It's not a pet. Su Yang smiled lightly and said, it's my helper. Are you kidding? Believe me, I can do it. As long as you go back with me, I will avenge the dead soldiers. At the same time, I will kill the so-called D-country military advisor and make him die without a burial place, Su Yang said seriously. Okay, Su Jingguo was skeptical, but finally gritted her teeth and said, I don't care who you are or what your motives are. As long as you can do what you say, I'm willing to go back to China with you. Okay, get some sleep first, and I'll take care of the rest. Su Yang smiled softly, then injected a stream of spiritual energy into Su Jingguo. Su Jingguo paused, then sleepiness instantly overwhelmed her. Her eyelids felt heavy, and then she fell asleep. Originally, Su Yang had planned to take his sister away from this troubled place, but seeing his sister's insistence, he didn't force her, lest she resent him later. So he negotiated and calmed her down. As for the military advisor and these soldiers from Country D, even if his sister didn't ask, he wouldn't let them go. Although Su Yang had just arrived in this country, his patriotism was deeply rooted in his bones. Even without mentioning patriotism, these people must pay the price for hurting his sister. White Cat, take care of her. Don't let anyone get close. Anyone who comes will be killed. At this moment, Su Yang stood up and gave White Cat his orders. His face was as gloomy as water. He stared at the military advisor of Country D from a distance and said coldly, it was you who heard her earlier. Chapter 141 Please die. You heard her. As he said this, Su Yang exuded a raging rage and a terrifying aura, stirring up a gust of wind with overwhelming force. The soldiers from Country D who were close to him all retreated involuntarily, their faces filled with fear and trembling. Seeing this, Chen Shengai's vigilance was raised to the highest level. He met Su Yang's gaze and frowned. Who are you? Answer my question. Su Yang took a step forward, pointed at Su Jingguo, and said in a deep voice, it was you who heard her. Humph. Chen Shengai did not respond, but snorted coldly and said, young man, you are too arrogant. At your age, no matter how talented you are, how strong can you be? Do you really think I am afraid of you? Answer me. Su Yang took another step forward, and a strong wind swept around. He asked in a deep voice, it was you who heard her. Arrogant. The stronger Su Yang was, the more Chen Shengai dared not to do it himself. He glanced at the 2 masters next to him and said coldly, you, go, kill this kid. He is only in his 20s, at most a mid-stage grandmaster, and is not your opponent at all. The 2 martial arts masters looked at each other. They were not stupid. They could naturally see that Su Yang was very strong. Chen Shengai just asked them to test Su Yang, so they were a little reluctant. Chen Shengai's face darkened. What? You dare disobey my orders? No, then hurry up and attack, Chen Shengai said coldly. Yes, forced to do so, the 2 martial arts masters complied, unleashing their full might to attack Su Yang. He, looking for death, Su Yang sneered repeatedly, then condensed a water blade and hurled it suddenly. Currently, Su Yang was in a blood sacrifice state, his power terrifying, comparable to that of a half-step Earthmaster. Let alone the 2 mid-stage grandmasters, even a peak grandmaster could be killed with a single blow. Puff. Puff. As expected, the water blades blasted by Su Yang slashed through the throats of the 2 martial arts masters in the blink of an eye. Before they could react, they were reduced to 2 corpses. Wow. This scene sent shockwaves through the scene, sending panic into the eyes of all the Country D soldiers who witnessed it. Even Chen Shengaian was stunned and muttered to himself, what, so strong? Next, it's your turn. Su Yang's gaze fell on Chen Shengaian, and he said coldly, I think I understand the evil things you have done. As an ancient warrior, you use blood as a medium to practice evil techniques and harm lives. Countless ordinary people in China have died in your hands. You deserve to die. Su Yang's face sank, and he walked towards Chen Shengaian step by step, sternly saying, I, Su Xuantian of China, ask you to die. Su Yang spoke word by word, his voice like a death warrant, constantly hitting Chen Shengaian. Chen Shengaian reacted immediately, and after thinking for a few seconds, he hurriedly said, young man, I admit that you are strong, but I am not a pushover either. I can sense that you and I are of similar strength. If you kill me, You will probably have to pay some price. Instead of that, why should we kill each other? We might as well have a good chat. A murderous look flashed in Chen Shangui's eyes, but he smiled on the surface. The people who just injured Su Jingguo are the two mid-stage grandmasters. Now that they have been killed by you, you can take Su Jingguo away from here. I will never stop you. How about we turn swords into plowshares? Chen Shanguian took the initiative to seek peace. Is that so? Sure. Upon hearing this, Su Yang stopped in his tracks and nodded in agreement. My sole goal is to save Su Jingguo. As for other matters, I don't care. Since you've agreed to let me take Su Jingguo away, we can avoid a direct confrontation. Haha, little brother, great minds think alike, Chen Shanguian said with a smile. Actually, I don't think we're opposites. Maybe we can be friends someday. Well, we'll talk about it next time. I'm leaving now, Su Yang agreed with a smile, then turned and slowly walked towards Su Jingguo. His back was exposed to Chen Shanguian, seemingly defenseless. Haha, you're still young after all. Chen Shanguian saw this, a sinister smile playing on his lips. He suddenly attacked, striking Su Yang and leaving. But Su Yang had been prepared. He secretly condensed two water blades, one in each hand, and suddenly released them. Bang! This was something Chen Shanguian had never expected. Hastily dodging one water blade, he was struck in the chest by a second. With a dull thud, Chen Shanguian's body flew backwards. However, he was a powerhouse close to reaching the half-step earth sect, and he quickly regained his balance. Puff! The water blades were still incredibly powerful, and blood flowed from the corners of Chen Shanguian's mouth. He raged in shame. You despicable villain. You knew I wouldn't give up, yet you actually played my trick. Haha, Su Yang sneered at Chen Shanguian. Your little trick was utterly crude. I've experienced this kind of situation hundreds of times. How could you fool me? Having cultivated in the Xuantian immortal realm for tens of thousands of years, Su Yang had witnessed countless intrigues and deceptions. Compared to those old monsters, Chen Shanguian's cunning schemes were nothing. I promised Su Jingguo I would kill you. You must die. No exceptions. At this moment, Su Yang seized the opportunity and launched himself at Chen Shanguian. HMPH, don't think I'm afraid of you. Chen Shanguian flew into a rage, immediately channeling all his inner ki and charging towards Su Yang. The two began to fight. Su Yang's current strength made it easy for him to defeat Chen Shanguian. After all, Chen Shanguian hadn't reached the true half-step earth sect, but was significantly stronger than an average grandmaster. Within 100 rounds, Su Yang was confident he could fulfill his promise to his sister and eliminate Chen Shanguian. Chen Shanguian grew increasingly fearful as the fight progressed, for he could sense the young man before him was superior to him. If the fight continued, he would undoubtedly lose. Come on, kill Su Jingguo, Chen Shanguian suddenly commanded. He knew the young man was concerned about Su Jingguo and intended to distract him. Yes, the nearby soldiers from Country D, upon receiving Chen Shanguian's order, gathered around. They weren't afraid to kill a sleeping woman. As for the teddy bear next to them, they simply ignored it. Young man, aren't you going to save Su Jingguo? Chen Shanguian warned. Su Yang ignored him and attacked without hesitation. Chen Shanguian fought back fiercely. Goddess of war, I never thought you'd die at my hands. At that moment, one of the soldiers approached Su Jingguo, a sly grin on his face, ready to strike. Woof! But at that moment, the previously silent Teddy unleashed a terrifying roar, instantly killing hundreds of Country D's soldiers. Chapter 142 Bloodthirsty Pearl. A pet dog the size of a watermelon opened its mouth and unleashed a terrifying blast of air, instantly killing hundreds of Country D's soldiers. Horrifying. So terrifying. Everyone at the scene was stunned, their mouths agape. As they reacted, their faces paled, their bodies trembling, and they retreated involuntarily. Chen Shanguian was shocked by the scene. Even though he was well informed, what he saw before him was beyond his understanding of the world. If the opponent had been a martial arts master, Chen Shanguian wouldn't have been shocked, because he could do it himself. In fact, he was even more powerful, capable of killing 300 or 400 people with a single blow. But the one who did it, not a human, but a tiny pet dog, was simply unbelievable. Just as Chen Shanguian was gazing at the white cat, Su Yang seized the opportunity and swung out two water blades simultaneously. Puff! The next moment, the two water blades simultaneously slashed Chen Shanguian's legs, sending blood gushing out. Ah! Chen Shanguian screamed, falling to his knees and frantically concentrating on stemming the bleeding. Haha, what you're doing is meaningless. Tonight, you will die. Su Yang's lip curled at this, and he strode forward to continue his attack. Chen Shangyin's legs were already failing him, making him no match for Su Yang. He was quickly knocked to the ground, breathing weakly. At this moment, he was completely terrified. His eyes fell on Su Yang, and he pleaded tremblingly, "Su Xuantian, don't kill me. Give me a chance. Please." Su Yang sneered and shook his head. Without a word, a water blade gradually took shape on his palm. Chen Shangyin's expression changed drastically at this. He knew he had no power to dodge. If Su Yang attacked, he would surely die. He was just one step away from reaching the half-step Earth sect. Once he reached the half-step Earth sect, his strength would undergo a drastic transformation. Therefore, Chen Shanggyin was unwilling to be killed. After thinking it over, he finally made a decision. "Su Xuantian, you are at the peak of the Grandmaster level, right? Do you want to step into the Earth sect as soon as possible? I can help you." The water blade had already taken shape, exuding a terrifying aura. Su Yang held the water blade with one hand and smiled gently. "How can you help me? I have a blood-sucking pearl. As long as you keep swallowing blood, you can quickly improve your strength." Chen Shanggyin tempted. "As long as you let me go, I will use the blood-sucking pearl to help you break through to the half-step Earth sect, or even the real Earth sect." Su Yang smiled, took a step forward, and asked curiously, "What is the blood-sucking pearl? Why haven't I heard of it?" "That's because you are ignorant." Chen Shanggyin glanced at Su Yang and explained, "The blood-sucking pearl is a sacred object of our country D. It can transform the power of Qi and blood into true Qi. If a large amount of true Qi is poured into the body, you can break through the realm. It's so magical." Su Yang smiled with his eyes slightly narrowed. "You told me this news. Aren't you afraid that I will snatch your blood-sucking pearl?" "Of course I'm not afraid," Chen Shanggyin said confidently. "The blood-sucking pearl has recognized me as its master. Under heaven, only I can activate it. If you kill me, you'll never be able to use it again. Su Xuantian, if you'll let me go, we can be friends and cultivate together with the blood-sucking pearl. Soon, the entire world will be ours," Chen Shanggyin declared ambitiously. "Then you will be the ruler of the world, and I'll be your military advisor. Together, we'll dominate the world and look down upon the vast mountains and rivers." "I don't believe you. First, take out the blood-sucking pearl and let me see it," Su Yang said. "Okay." Chen Shanggyin hesitated for a moment, then reached into his arms and pulled out a blood-red bead the size of an egg. The bead was an irregular oval, pockmarked and riddled with veins. It glowed faintly with blood and exuded a gloomy aura. This was the blood-sucking pearl. The blood-sucking glow and aura that Chen Shanggyin possessed came from the blood-sucking pearl. Su Yang's gaze fell on the blood-sucking pearl, and his lips curled up. "What blood-sucking pearl? I thought it was so impressive, but isn't it just a low-level magic weapon refined by those demons in the Xuantian immortal realm? No. Judging from its quality, it's probably not even a low-level magic weapon, just a semi-finished product, something the ordinary disciples of the Xuantian immortal realm's demon sect wouldn't even bother using. However, this is Earth, where magic weapons are even more precious. Furthermore, this magic weapon already contains the essence and blood of tens of thousands of people, and the energy it contains is actually quite significant. Of course, this is also its limit. It can no longer absorb blood. Therefore, with so many corpses beneath the city, their essence and blood are still there. Presumably, Chen Shanggyin intends to refine the essence and blood in the magic weapon before absorbing the blood of the corpses on the ground. Admittedly, this magic weapon, despite the essence and blood, is still quite valuable. Now that I've performed the blood sacrifice, I'll be depleted of Qi and blood at dawn, leaving me utterly weak. Su Yang gazed at the blood-sucking pearl in Chen Shanggyi's hand, a smile playing on his face. "If I get my hands on this, not only will I be able to quickly replenish my depleted blood and essence, I'll even be able to break through to the 5th level of Qi training. Haha, a pillow just when you're sleepy." Chen Shanggyin is truly considerate. Su Yang had already decided to keep the blood-sucking pearl for himself, his smile growing wider. Seeing Su Yang's expression, Chen Shanggyin naturally grasped his intentions. With a jolt of anxiety, he warned, "Su Xuantian, I'm not lying. Only I know how to use the blood-sucking pearl. If you kill me, it'll be useless. Haha, don't worry. I've seen far more powerful magical weapons. What you have is just a low-level, semi-finished product. I can use it better than you can." Su Yang smiled softly, then his eyes grew cold. The long-prepared water blade flew out of his hand. Puff. The next moment, the water blade swiftly severed Chen Shengai's trachea. Ugh! Chen Shengaian was speechless as bright red blood spurted out, and soon he stopped breathing, becoming a corpse. The bloodthirsty orb in his hand fell to the ground, its red glow still flickering. Su Yang stood still, simply spreading his palm, and the bloodthirsty orb floated obediently into his hand. The material is excellent. It's actually a meteorite from outer space, imbued with special properties. It's a shame the person who refined it was so incompetent that they couldn't even tap into 1% of its potential. Su Yang, quite satisfied, then tossed it into the air and began to form hand seals with his hands. Buzz! In an instant, the bloodthirsty orb hovered in midair, its bloody glow intensifying, like a blood moon, its power intensifying countless times. In just a few breaths, Su Yang had eliminated Chen Shengai's aura and claimed the bloodthirsty orb for himself. After completing all this, Su Yang surveyed the 70,000 to 80,000 Country D soldiers, his eyes thick with murderous intent. He had promised his sister two things. First, to kill Chen Shengaian, the Country D military advisor, and he had already done so. Second, to slaughter half of the Country D soldiers to avenge the deaths of the Chinese soldiers. Now, it was time to do the second thing. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 143 Everyone Must Die. Kill. Half of the 70,000 to 80,000 D country soldiers under the city must be killed to appease the souls of the Chinese soldiers. Su Yang's face was as gloomy as water. He stepped over Chen Shengai's body and approached, the air around him seeming to freeze. Wow! The enemy troops at the scene, first frightened by the white cat and then witnessing the murder of military advisor Chen, were already terrified and retreated almost in unison. Two generals are dead, and so is the military advisor. Military advisor Chen is incredibly skilled. Just a few days ago, he led 10,000 of our men to slaughter tens of thousands of Chinese people. How could he die here? That young man is so powerful. Even military advisor Chen is no match for him. That teddy over there is so strange. Is he a monster? He killed over 100 of us with just one mouth. Trembling with fear, the numerous D country soldiers retreated hastily, causing a stampede and the deaths of over 1,000. Everyone calmed down. At this time, a general at the peak of Huajin realm stood up and said with gritted teeth, "Don't panic, he is alone. No matter how powerful the dog is, it is still a beast. We are numerous and powerful. We can't kill them all. Let's fight them." That's right, running away is useless. It will only make us more passive. Let's fight. The true energy of an ancient warrior is limited. If a real fight breaks out, he will soon be exhausted. Let's charge. The opportunity to make a name for ourselves has come. If we kill him, we will definitely be summoned to the imperial capital. Under the instigation of several Huajin generals, the emotions of all the soldiers on the scene were mobilized, and they rushed over excitedly. For a time, the momentum was overwhelming. No matter how many ants there are, they're still ants. Su Yang walked over to Su Jingguo, bent down, and carried her on his back. Then, in a deep voice, he said, "White cat, kill as many as you can. Remember to conserve your strength. I'll be very weak at dawn and need your protection." "Yes, master," the white cat agreed and immediately unleashed the heaven-swallowing spirit beast technique. Emitting a terrifying aura, it confronted the vast enemy force. Like a brown aurora of destruction, it left rivers of blood wherever it passed, leaving no one unharmed. As expected of a demon beast, the white cat's fighting power is even greater than I imagined, comparable to peak grandmaster. Furthermore, its physique is astonishing. Its reckless charge doesn't consume much spiritual energy. Su Yang narrowed his eyes and said calmly, "At this rate, we can kill all 70,000 or 80,000 Country D soldiers present. Well, since that's the case, let's kill them all. Their deaths are not worth regretting." As he finished speaking, Su Yang spread his hands. The elder sister's longsword, which had been lying on the ground, trembled and flew directly into Su Yang's hand. Immediately, Su Yang, sword in hand and carrying Su Jingguo on his back, acted like a killing machine, slashing through dozens of people with a single blow. For a moment, the scene was ablaze with blood, and screams were heard everywhere. It was a one-sided massacre. Su Yang and the white cat, their strength overwhelming all enemies, struck without mercy. Remarkably, as the white cat slaughtered, he employed the heaven-swallowing spirit beast technique, devouring the essence and blood of the powerful. Instead of diminishing its spiritual energy, it grew stronger and more courageous with each battle. In just 10 minutes, White Cat alone had slaughtered over 10,000 Country D soldiers. Su Yang was no slower, though fewer than White Cat, but still numbering 7 or 8,000. The scene was a mountain of corpses, blood everywhere. The remaining Country D soldiers were utterly panicked. Under whose guidance, no one knew, they dropped their weapons and knelt in unison, begging for mercy. "Senior, please spare us. We surrender and want to be taken prisoner. I have a wife and children to support at home, and parents to take care of. Senior, please have mercy." The killing of ordinary people in China a few days ago was the decision of military advisor Chen. It has nothing to do with us. Yes, military advisor Chen ordered it, and we have no choice but to follow it. Please, Senior, have mercy. All the Country D soldiers, perhaps 50 or 60,000, knelt in a black mass, begging for mercy. Many wore smug smiles, completely free of their earlier panic. They knew that China had a principle, to treat prisoners well and not to kill those who surrendered. Even if they had committed heinous crimes in China, they could survive by laying down their weapons. They were certain that the powerful young man before them would abide by the rule of not killing those who surrendered and let them go. Therefore, far from being intimidated, these Country D soldiers were actually quite pleased. Many of them even smiled arrogantly after begging for mercy. Su Yang naturally observed this scene, his expression instantly cold. He slowly surveyed the 50 to 60,000 enemies at the scene, his eyes fierce and terrifying. "You people have your hands stained with the blood of Chinese soldiers and ordinary people. You have burned, killed, looted, and committed all kinds of evil in China, committing heinous crimes. Now, you want me to let you go by laying down your weapons and begging for mercy? Haha, dream on." Su Yang took a step forward, his eyes complicated, and said with a gloomy face, "You have wives and children to support, and parents to honor, but we Chinese did not come out of the cracks of stones. Every Chinese you killed has his own family and is a flesh and blood person, but when you were committing atrocities, did you ever think about who would support their wives and children? Who would honor their parents? No." Su Yang's voice was like a bell, and he said sternly, "You didn't. Now, when you are about to die, you think of surrendering. I tell you, it's impossible. Today, everyone here will die. Use your blood to atone for your evil deeds." In his bloody state, Su Yang's body was shrouded in blood. With a ferocious expression, he growled, "Now, use your lives to achieve your final redemption." With those words, Su Yang showed no mercy. Wherever his longsword passed, dozens of bodies were left. White Cat, seeing its master in action, didn't hesitate, continuing its killing spree. Instantly, screams echoed around them, lingering for a long time. "Murder! China is unjust, slaughtering captives. They will surely be punished by the 5 commanderies and 19 kingdoms," someone shouted. "Humph!" Su Yang slew the man with a single strike of his sword, then coldly declared, "Who said I must accept your surrender? I tell you clearly now, on behalf of China, I do not accept your surrender, so, in my eyes, you are still enemies. Enemies must be annihilated." Su Yang, brimming with blood, dashed through the crowd. White Cat followed suit, completely enraptured. This battle of unequal strength lasted nearly an hour before concluding. After dispatching everyone, Su Yang carried the unconscious Su Jingguo on his back and left with the White Cat. A total of 80,000 Country D soldiers were slaughtered at the scene, leaving the city gates like a mass grave, not a single one left alive. P.S. I've been thinking about this chapter for a long time, but I'm posting it anyway. I usually ask for gifts when the author says something, but I won't this time. There's nothing much to say. While the National Day holiday is certainly fun, everyone should remember this: the heroic spirit of heaven and earth will remain awe-inspiring for thousands of years. Chapter 144, Blood Evil Sequelae. After leaving the border city, Su Yang drove the jeep, carrying Su Jingguo and the White Cat, directly to find Liu Wei. It was already 4 or 5 o'clock, and the horizon was just beginning to show a hint of paleness. Daybreak was about to break. By then, Su Yang would be weakened and would need to find a safe, secluded place. About half an hour later, Su Yang met up with Liu Wei at their parting place. "Mr. Su," Liu Wei greeted respectfully at first, then curiously asked, "Have you seen the goddess of war Jingguo?" "Yes, She's seriously injured and is in the car, Su Yang said calmly. Liu Wei glanced at the jeep and said tactfully, I'll arrange for the best doctors from the surrounding provinces to treat the female warrior, no need. I've already treated her. She'll be awake in a day or two. Su Yang stopped him, then ordered, Liu Wei, find me a quiet place. I need to practice. Yes, Liu Wei replied with awe. The branch of the Nine Gates Black Market in Dongjiang is nearby. I'm familiar with their guards. I'll take you there, okay? Su Yang nodded, then carried his sister on his back and left the scene with Liu Wei. White Cat followed closely behind. It wasn't long before the group arrived at their destination. The layout and construction of the Nine Gates Black Markets in various locations were similar, and this one was exactly like the one in Jiangbei. Su Yang first found a room for Su Jingguo to recuperate in bed. Su Jingguo's injuries were serious, but not serious. The spiritual energy Su Yang injected into her body would fully heal her. I didn't expect your sister's realm to have reached the middle stage of Grandmaster. Her talent is truly remarkable, and she has a lot of room for improvement. Su Yang looked at his sister, who lay unconscious on the bed, a smile on his lips. He then said, however, the battlefield is still very dangerous. This strength is clearly not enough. Sister, you've protected me for 20 years. Now it's my turn to pay the price. Su Yang smiled, then mobilized all the spiritual energy in his body and channeled it all into his sister's body. Nowadays, Su Yang can easily help ancient warriors at the Huijin realm break through, requiring only a small amount of spiritual energy. However, facing a martial arts grandmaster, he would have to consume a large amount of spiritual energy, especially his sister, who is currently at the middle stage of grandmaster. Further breakthroughs would require a great deal of energy. But Su Yang was confident that if he channeled all his spiritual energy into his sister, with her talent, she would definitely break through to the late stage of grandmaster, and even have the chance to reach the peak of grandmaster. There's a world of difference between true ki and spiritual energy. Spiritual energy is far more powerful and dominant. Therefore, even powerful ancient warriors would not dare to rashly absorb the spiritual energy from the energy stone. Ordinary cultivators couldn't transfer their spiritual energy into ancient warriors. This was because overbearing spiritual energy would destroy the recipient's stanchion and meridians, counterproductive. But Su Yang was different. In his previous life, he was the Xuantian Immortal Emperor and knew some secret techniques, allowing him to soften the spiritual energy and make it easier to absorb. There was another point. No matter how abundant Su Yang's spiritual energy was now, after dawn, it would be completely depleted, leaving him depleted of ki and blood. Rather than letting it vanish in vain, it would be better to give his sister a chance. Half an hour later, all the spiritual energy in Su Yang's body had entered his sister's body. At this moment, Su Yang looked pale and weak, with no spiritual energy left in his danshin. Sister, I've given you this opportunity. The rest depends on your own talent. Su Yang wiped the sweat from his forehead, a smile playing on his lips. Then, he pushed the door open and out, revealing Liu Wei and the White Cat. Liu Wei, arrange for someone to take good care of Su Jingguo. Su Yang looked at Liu Wei and said weakly, also, find me a spare room here, not too far from Su Jingguo. Yes, Liu Wei agreed, then said, young Master Su, the next room is empty. You can rest in there. Yes, thank you for your help. Su Yang nodded. At this moment, the after effects of the blood sacrifice suddenly took effect. He immediately spat out a mouthful of blood and ordered, White Cat, for the next few days, no one is allowed to approach my room. Remember, no one. Yes, Master, White Cat replied via voice transmission. Young Master Su, are you alright? Liu Wei beside him asked with concern. It's just a minor injury, nothing to worry about, Su Yang replied casually, then strode into the next room. Just then, daybreak broke. News of the incident in the border city quickly reached the imperial capital, shocking the entire high-ranking officials of Country D. Although no one survived, Country D, with its advanced technology, used radar satellites and some special means to capture footage of the battle below the city. After viewing the video footage, they were even more shocked. 80,000 soldiers, 2 mid-stage grandmasters, and 1 half-step earthmaster, were completely wiped out by 1 man and a dog. This was truly terrifying. That person is so young, who could he be, and how could he possess such formidable power? Aren't ancient martial artists above grandmaster level forbidden from participating in warfare? That young man was able to kill military advisor Chen, Clearly, having dabbled in the Earth sect, China must give us an explanation for this. Let's not talk about the young man for now, but what about that pet dog? It can kill over 100 soldiers with just one breath, unheard of. Is it a legendary beast? This video must be sealed and absolutely not leaked. Otherwise, it will deal a heavy blow to the prestige of our country and undermine our people's pursuit of territorial expansion. Yes, this matter must not be discussed again. Immediately classify it as an SSS-level classified document and permanently sealed. Also, secretly investigate the identity of that young man. Even if it takes the entire nation's strength, he must be killed. If he is allowed to rise to new heights, it will be a devastating blow to our country D. Country D's top brass held a meeting and ultimately decided not to disclose the information to the public, suppressing the news and secretly disposing of the 80,000 bodies. However, they would not let Xu Yang off easily. They recorded Xu Yang's appearance and secretly sent people to investigate. When Xu Yang arrived in East Xinjiang, he disguised himself as Xu Xuantian, who had recently gained some fame in several provinces near Jiangbei, China. Therefore, the D country's top brass quickly confirmed Xu Yang's identity. Young Grandmaster Xu Xuantian? Humph. He's not a Grandmaster at all, he's clearly an Earth sect. It's good to know who he is. This person doesn't follow the rules and rashly joins the war. We can protest to China and have China send strong men to punish him? No. Military advisor Chen is also a half-step Earth sect. What he did in China a few days ago was too shameful. We are the ones who are wrong. Let's secretly eliminate this person. In his early 20s, he has set foot in the Earth sect. Our D country hasn't had such a genius in hundreds of years. We must strangle Xu Xuantian in the cradle. He must be killed. Let Gisha do it. Xu Xuantian is so young, and it took a lot of effort to kill military advisor Chen. I guess he just set foot in the Earth sect. Gisha is one of the top 10 strongest people in our D country. He has been promoted to the Earth sect for many years. He will definitely succeed. The top leaders of D country made up their minds and sent the country's top strongmen to get rid of Xu Xuantian as soon as possible. As for the white cat, teddy dogs all look the same, and the top leaders of D country can't find any evidence. But they were convinced that if they found Xu Xuantian, they would naturally find the murderous dog, and then they could let the ghost demon destroy it as well. Country D was in panic, and China, through some means, also found the footage from that time, and for a while, they felt a mixture of joy and worry. Chapter 145 Recovery, Key Training Level 5. At this moment, in the prince's palace in the capital of China, a middle-aged man with a heroic appearance stood with his hands behind his back, looking up at the slowly rising sun, his expression unclear whether he was happy or sad. Behind him, a soldier who had come to report the news half knelt on the ground, his posture extremely respectful. The room was so quiet that you could hear a pin drop. This state lasted for a few minutes, and then the middle-aged man suddenly smiled. Haha, well, now that the 5 counties and 19 kingdoms are ready to make moves and try to change the world, the rule that those above the Grandmaster level cannot participate in the war will probably not last long. The middle-aged man smiled and said to himself, besides, it was Country D that violated the rules first this time. If we investigate further, Country D will also be condemned by the 5 counties and 19 kingdoms. If it goes as I expected, Country D will not reveal this matter to the 5 counties and 19 kingdoms. In that case, China will pretend to be unaware of it. The middle-aged man has an elegant temperament, dressed in white, and has the demeanor of a mastermind who can plan and win battles from afar. Your Highness, what about Xu Xuantian? The subordinate nearby inquired. This middle-aged man of extraordinary bearing was Long Zuxing, also known as Prince Ping. Prince Ping, Long Zuxing, now commanded the 3 armies of China, wielding an astonishingly vast influence. With a single command, he could mobilize millions of soldiers, possessing immense power. Under his command were 10 great generals, one of whom was Su Jingguo. Xu Xuantian, at this time, hearing his subordinates asking questions, Long Zuxing pondered for a moment, then smiled lightly. This person is extraordinary. He has touched the threshold of the Earth sect at such a young age. His talent is appalling. He must come from a powerful ancient martial arts sect. Only the immortals in those sects can cultivate such a genius. Moreover, the pet dog beside him is obviously just a disguise. The dog may be something domesticated by an ancient sect. I have seen a tiger that is comparable to a master of Huijin. Long Zuxing smiled. In short, this Xu Xuantian is powerful and has an amazing background. Naturally, he must be won over, Pass my order and let Zhao Xiance immediately set off to Jiangbei to find an opportunity to make friends with Su Xuantian, Long Zuxing said seriously. Yes, the subordinate first agreed, and then asked in confusion, Your Highness, although the satellite video can only detect the bottom of the city, it can be seen that Su Xuantian took action this time because of the goddess of war Jingguo. In the end, he also rescued the goddess of war Jingguo. It can be seen that he may know the goddess of war Jingguo. Why not give the task of winning over Su Xuantian to the goddess of war Jingguo? Indeed, it will be more effective if Jingguo does this. But, when Su Jingguo was mentioned, a hint of admiration flashed in Long Zuxing's eyes, and then his face darkened. I don't want her to have too much contact with Su Xuantian. Do you understand? Understand. The subordinate was suddenly startled and said hurriedly, I deserve to die, please punish me, Your Highness. Okay, forget it this time. Long Zuxing regained his composure and said lightly, Su Xuantian took Jingguo away, and he will definitely heal her injuries. But I don't know where they went. Spread the news and let Jingguo return to Beijing to report to me immediately after her injuries are healed. There must be no mistakes. Yes, the servant obeyed the order, then bowed and respectfully exited the room. Jingguo, I didn't expect you to know such a powerful young man. Why didn't you tell me in advance? Long Zuxing muttered to himself, his expression particularly complex and gloomy. Then, a meaningful smile appeared on his face. Su Xuantian, I hope we're not enemies. Both China and Country D chose to suppress the news, reaching a tacit agreement to never mention Su Xuantian's massacre of 80,000 people. At the same time, both sides began to work, planning to resolve the matter secretly. Thus, while the two countries appeared calm on the surface, undercurrents surged. Thus, 3 days passed. During these 3 days, Su Yang remained in his room, cultivating, never leaving. Young Master Su's aura was weak that night. I hope nothing happens to him, otherwise I won't be able to report to the leader. Liu Wei stood outside Su Yang's room, watching from afar, his face filled with anxiety. During those 3 days, he tried several times to approach the room to see how young Master Su was doing, but was stopped by White Cat. Initially, Liu Wei disregarded the White Cat and threatened to forcefully give Su Yang the healing medicine. But the White Cat was unceremonious, emanating a terrifying aura that forced Liu Wei back. Had it not sensed Liu Wei's kindness, the White Cat would have likely eliminated it. It was then that Liu Wei realized the terrifying nature of the dog that young Master Su always kept with him, and he was utterly shocked. Who the hell is young Master Su? Not only is he incredibly powerful, but even his dog is terrifying. Standing 10 meters from the room, Liu Wei gazed at the White Cat with fear, his curiosity about Su Yang's background growing, along with his awe of him. He was deeply concerned for Su Yang's safety. 3 days had passed, and he wondered how young Master Su was doing. However, due to the White Cat's interference, Liu Wei dared not approach the room, and his anxiety was throbbing. Meanwhile, inside the room, Su Yang slowly opened his eyes, a playful smile playing on his lips. Finally, it worked. Although this low-level magic weapon is rubbish, the essence and blood it stores are remarkably effective. Not only did it make up for my shortfall, it also allowed me to break through to the 5th level of key training. Su Yang spread his palms, condensing a ball of spiritual energy. He smiled confidently. Now, even without the blood sacrifice, I can handle a half-step Earth Sect Master. If I activate the blood sacrifice, even a true Earth Sect Master is no match for me. This can be considered a blessing in disguise. The after effects of the blood sacrifice secret technique are terrifying. Depleted ki and blood can make one weaker than an ordinary person. For the first few days, I couldn't even get out of bed. Normally, recovery takes at least 2 weeks. Before coming to East Xinjiang, Su Yang was forced to perform the blood sacrifice to save his father, and he had already prepared for weakness. Unexpectedly, upon arriving in East Xinjiang, he unexpectedly obtained the low-level magic weapon, the blood-sucking pearl. It was a lifesaver. Now, in just 3 days, Su Yang had replenished his ki and blood. Not only had his injuries healed, but he had also reached the 5th level of ki training, his strength soaring. This all depends on the blood-sucking pearl. This time, I absorbed the blood-sucking pearl, but I won't be so lucky next time. The secret technique of blood sacrifice must be used with caution. Su Yang dispersed the spiritual energy in his palm, then remembered the origin of the blood essence within the blood-sucking pearl. His face suddenly darkened. Now, the blood of the people of China flows through my body. Although some things were not my fault, I am the ultimate beneficiary. I have already killed the real murderer, Chen Shangyan. I have also spared the soldiers from Country D who participated in the evil deeds. I have wiped them all out. Furthermore, I, Su Xuantian, will repay any favor I receive. Your blood will never be shed in vain. From now on, I will protect this land and everything in it. You can rest in peace. Su Yang made a promise, feeling the burden on his shoulders grow heavier, but he would not go back on his word. After all, he had the blood of China flowing in his veins. Next, Su Yang did not stand up, but took out the blood-sucking pearl and set his sights on the meteorite. Ps. Regarding the world framework of this book, it is completely new and different from the ancient times, nor is it modern. It is a combination. My previous book was also written in this way. It can be regarded as a genre. It is enough for everyone to know it, and don't ask whether it is ancient or modern. Chapter 146 Return to Jiangbei. Su Yang had previously discerned that the bloodthirsty pearl's raw materials were extraordinary, imbued with the power of special laws. However, the person who refined it was unrefined and used low-level techniques, resulting in it being a semi-finished magical artifact. In the hands of a true refiner, they would surely be able to refine a top-grade magical artifact, hundreds or even thousands of times more powerful than the current one. However, a more knowledgeable refiner would not use this material to refine a magical artifact like the bloodthirsty pearl. Because it contains the power of space, it is the perfect choice for refining a storage ring. Since Su Yang's rebirth, he has been without a storage ring, feeling that something is missing. Now, by chance, he has encountered an alien meteorite imbued with the power of space, and naturally, he is tempted. While I'm not the top refiner in the Xuantian immortal realm, I'm not far behind. Even though I'm only a cultivator at the 5th level of key training, with my exceptional skills, I can still refine a storage ring. Su Yang smiled and continued, in that case, let's take advantage of the time we have to refine the storage ring first. This blood-sucking pearl is useless to me anyway. This was true. The blood-sucking pearl's ability to absorb and store essence and blood allowed ancient warriors to rapidly grow stronger. However, Su Yang knew many secret arts in his previous life, including some of these evil arts, so the presence of the blood-sucking pearl was of little significance to him. However, Su Yang had no intention of practicing evil arts and would not use them. While this method could elevate his realm, it would be detrimental to his future cultivation. If Su Yang used evil arts now, absorbing essence and blood from everywhere, he would soon have the opportunity to establish his foundation and even form a golden elixir. However, his ceiling was the Jiandan stage, and he could not break through. Worse still, even the Jiandan stage couldn't last long, succumbing to the inner demons and becoming half human, half ghost. Su Yang naturally scorned this. Since he had no use for the blood-sucking pearl, he might as well turn it into something he could use. Having made up his mind, Su Yang acted immediately, throwing the blood-sucking pearl into the air. Quickly forming a seal with his hands, the 9 nether prison suppression technique suddenly activated. Storage rings are categorized into various levels based on the size of their interior and the amount of items they can store. Ordinary storage rings can be crafted with ordinary materials and require minimal refinement skills. However, there's another type of storage ring that can house living creatures, creating its own internal space where even flowers and plants can be grown, comparable to a small world. These storage rings must be crafted from materials that adhere to the laws of space. Therefore, even in the Xuantian immortal realm, these storage rings are rare, and only the most powerful are worthy of wearing them. Su Yang once possessed a living creature storage ring, its interior space comparable to a small county town, where humans lived, farmed, and reproduced, imbued with the atmosphere of daily life. He often watched everything in the storage ring, and would watch it for decades, and his insights would lead to breakthroughs. Unfortunately, this storage ring could not withstand the pressure of the 9 nether hell and exploded. Next, Su Yang concentrated on refining the storage ring, with spiritual energy surging around him, and his fingers constantly changing the seals. After about half an hour, Su Yang stopped, and then a red storage ring gradually took shape and floated in the air. Su Yang grabbed it, put it on his hand, and smiled. More than 500 square meters of space, although compared with my original storage ring, it is far from enough, but on Earth, this is already very good. It will be much more convenient to go out on the future. It took me 3 days to heal my injuries and practice this time. I wonder how my sister is doing. Su Yang gently turned the storage ring, then stood up and walked out of the room. Master, The white cat was overjoyed when he saw Su Yang push the door open, and said excitedly, "You seem to have become stronger again." "Yes, there have been some small breakthroughs." Su Yang did not deny it, but asked, "White cat, how did I realize that my sister was not in the room?" "She woke up." "Yes, master." A sweet girl's voice sounded in Su Yang's mind, and the white cat responded, "Sister Jingo woke up yesterday. She has become very powerful now, stronger than me. I can't sense her specific realm, stronger than you, at least to the peak of the Grandmaster. My sister is still very talented." Su Yang smiled lightly, and then asked in confusion, "Where is my sister now? Did she come to see me?" "She came, but I followed your instructions and didn't let her into the room," the white cat continued. "She left after that. As for where she went, I don't know." "Liu Wei should know, master. During the few days you were in a coma, Liu Wei was more anxious than anyone else. He was like an ant on a hot pot, running around in a hurry. It makes me suspect that it's not you who's unconscious, but Liu Wei's wife," the white cat added softly. "Master, are you and Liu Wei having some kind of shameful, illicit relationship?" "What nonsense!" Su Yang's face darkened instantly. "White cat, I've noticed something's amiss with you. I've decided to put you in solitary confinement for a few days. You should reflect on your mistakes." With a wave of his hand, Su Yang placed the white cat in his stored ring. "Master, then," the white cat's panicked voice echoed in his mind, "what kind of place is this? It's so dark and terrifying." "Don't be afraid. This is just a stored ring. Practice well in here." Hearing the sweet, girlish voice, Su Yang softened his heart and offered a soothing reassurance, transmitting the information about the stored ring into the white cat's mind. "So the stored ring is so magical." The white cat suddenly understood and was no longer afraid, but it pretended to panic. "Master, I promise not to tell anyone about you and Liu Wei. Please don't kill me to silence me. I was wrong. Please let me out." "How dare you talk nonsense? Stay here and let me out when I'm happy," Su Yang said with a sullen face. Then, he ignored the white cat and strode towards Liu Wei in the distance. As Su Yang emerged, he saw Liu Wei outside. Therefore, his previous communication with the white cat had been through spiritual consciousness, and Liu Wei had not heard it. But Liu Wei saw with his own eyes that the white cat had disappeared into thin air, and he was now deeply surprised. "Young Master Su," Liu Wei greeted, then asked in confusion, "Why did your pet dog suddenly disappear?" Su Yang didn't answer, instead asking, "Liu Wei, where is Su Jingo?" Although puzzled, Liu Wei didn't press the issue. Instead, he replied, "Young Master Su, after the Jingo goddess of war recovered from her injuries, she wanted to wait here for you to wake up, intending to thank her savior in person, but she waited for you all night before receiving military orders and had to return to Kyoto." Liu Wei continued, "Before leaving, the Jingo goddess of war asked me to tell you that she would soon return to Jiangbei to find out who you are and why you saved her." "Okay, I understand," Su Yang nodded, a smile playing on his face. It was good that his sister had recovered. He must have had some vague suspicions about his identity, but wasn't sure. Su Yang wouldn't deliberately conceal anything. Since his sister was planning to return to Jiangbei, it wouldn't be too late to tell her then. "Now that my sister's strength has improved several times, there shouldn't be any danger anymore. It's time to return." With this in mind, Su Yang said, "Liu Wei, we've been out for so many days. Let's go back." "Yes," Liu Wei agreed respectfully, then flew the helicopter, carrying Su Yang through the clouds and leaving Dongjiang. The next morning, the helicopter appeared over Jiangbei and slowly descended. Finally back. Chapter 147 The Way to Control People. After returning to Jiangbei, Su Yang first accompanied Liu Wei to the Nine Gates Black Market to catch up on the recent events. "Young Master Su, after you left, the Su family's old patriarch, Su Qianqian, and the Li family's patriarch, Li Chunfeng, took the unconscious Su Xianbing away." Another guard at the Nine Gates Black Market, Wang Sai, said respectfully, "Jiangbei has been peaceful these past 3 days. Nothing major has occurred, and we haven't heard of any experts arriving." "Yes," Su Yang nodded, then asked, "Has there been any major news from eastern Xinjiang these days?" He had annihilated 80,000 soldiers from Country D, 2 martial arts masters, and a military advisor at the half-step Earth sect realm. Surely Country D must be going mad. However, Wang Sai, surprisingly, shook his head and said, "No, the biggest news is the trapped war goddess. You should already know about that. There's no other news? Su Yang frowned slightly. How could this not cause such a stir? Young Master Su, on the way, Liu Wei learned from Su Yang about the rescue of the female war god. Naturally, he knew that Su Yang and the White Cat, one man and one dog, destroyed 80,000 people in Country D at this time. He said, there are regulations between countries that no one above the master level can participate in the war. Chen Shangyan, the military advisor of Country D, violated the regulations first, and he committed heinous crimes on the border of China. In the final analysis, they are in the wrong, so they dare not publicize this matter. Liu Wei continued to analyze. As for our China, we will naturally not mention this matter again. After all, Country D also suffered heavy losses. You are too cruel. You killed 80,000 people in one go? Haha, no wonder. Su Yang smiled lightly. This is the best. It saves a lot of trouble. Young Master Su, Country D has always been vindictive. Although they will not make things clear, they will probably send people to secretly investigate your identity, and may even kill you. You must be mentally prepared, Liu Wei reminded. Yes, I see. Su Yang nodded slightly, then suddenly remembered something and asked, Liu Wei, can you help me find out who the Half-Step Earth sect member was who appeared at the Nine Gates Black Market that night? Before Liu Wei could speak, Wang Song beside him said, Young Master Su, I started investigating right after the incident. That man's name is Jeping. He's from the ancient martial arts sect, the Shadowless sect of Zion Mountain, and he's an elder of the Shadowless sect. Shadowless sect? Su Yang frowned slightly, then asked, he's already reached the Half-Step Earth sect level. What level does he hold within the Shadowless sect? Are there many who are stronger than him? Not many, but not a few either. Wang Sai continued, the Shadowless sect has 9 elders, and Jeping is just one of them. He ranks last in strength. Above the elders are the sect master and the deputy sect master, all of whom are extremely powerful, but the Shadowless sect is only considered a mid-level sect compared to our Nine Gates alliance. There's still a huge gap. Wang Song spoke with considerable pride. Half-Step Earth sect within the Shadowless sect, there were at least 9, even more powerful, sect leaders and deputy sect leaders. And this was just a small sect. This showed that the ancient martial arts sects were very deep. His decision to hide his identity was absolutely correct. Now, I can easily wipe out a Half-Step Earth sect. If I encounter a true Earth sect, I can escape. If I perform a blood sacrifice, I might even have the chance to kill them, which would be considered a self-preservation capability. However, we still have to be careful. The ancient martial arts forces have existed for so many years, so there must be some veterans who have cultivated for decades or even centuries. I've only been practicing for a dozen days. Even with the most powerful cultivation system, I can't compete with them, but give me time. Once I successfully establish my foundation, I'll surely be able to sweep across the ancient martial arts world. For now, let's just stay low. Having made up his mind, Su Yang's gaze fell on Wang Sui and he said calmly, I heard Liu Wei mention you. Your name is Wang Sui. Thank you for answering my question. I don't like to owe favors. You're currently in the middle stage of Huijin. Let me help you. As he finished speaking, Su Yang raised his hand slightly, and a stream of spiritual energy entered Wang Sui's body. Crack! In just a few breaths, Wang Sui broke through the bottleneck, leaping from the late stage of Huijin to the peak of Huijin. Sensing the change in his realm, Wang Sui was overjoyed. He immediately knelt on one knee, clasped his hands together, and said respectfully, Thank you, young Master Su, you're welcome. I'll inevitably have to trouble you in the future. We're just helping each other. Su Yang smiled and continued, now that you and Liu Wei have both reached the peak of Huijin, I'll help you become martial arts masters next time I have the chance. I have something else to do, so I'll be leaving now. With that, Su Yang turned and walked out of the Nine Gates Black Market. With his abilities, he could have promoted Liu Wei and Wang Sui to Grandmaster level right then and there, effortlessly. However, Su Yang chose not to do so. Liu Wei and Wang Sui were not his own men, but members of the Nine Gates Black Market. He and they were merely using each other. Their efforts, in exchange for 2 minor realm advancements, were already a great blessing to them. Furthermore, he couldn't overindulge with subordinates, who weren't his trusted followers, or they would be less efficient next time. Now Su Yang was using his Grandmaster status to control Liu Wei and Wang Sui. If Su Yang ordered them to do something, they would spare no effort to complete it, and would even compete to help him. This was the art of controlling people. Su Yang had practiced for 80,000 years, so he naturally knew how to do it. What kind of tricks does Master Su have? He can actually help someone break through, and with such ease, as if he just casually released a burst of energy, and I've ascended 2 minor realms in a row. Amazing. Liu Wei, you're being disingenuous. Master Su already helped you break through, and you didn't even tell me. Don't blame me. I don't know if Master Su wanted to hide his abilities. Now you've reached the peak of Huajin, what's there to complain about? Bullshit. You just want to be the only one to receive Master Su's favor. I see right through you. Next time Master Su comes to the 9 Gates Black Market, I'll receive him myself. Get the hell out of here, what are you dreaming of? Master Su made it clear that if you can help him again, you can reach the Grandmaster level. Do you think I'll give you that opportunity? After Su Yang left, Liu Wei and Wang Song started arguing, their arguments intensifying as they fought for the right to work for Master Su. After leaving the 9 Gates Black Market, Su Yang turned on his phone. When they set out for East Xinjiang, Liu Wei had suggested turning off their phone to avoid signal detection. It wasn't until they returned to the city that Su Yang remembered to turn it on. As soon as he turned on his phone, he saw a slew of missed calls, from his father, Wang Fuge, and Li Fixun. Su Yang smiled and was about to call back the calls in order when Li Fixun called. Chapter 148, Hot on the Internet. Su Yang, what have you been up to these past few days? You didn't answer my calls, you didn't reply to my texts. I went to your house and couldn't find you. Could something have happened to you? The call was connected, and Li Fixun's anxious voice came from the other end. There wasn't a hint of complaint, only worry for Su Yang. Su Yang felt a warm sensation in his heart. It felt really good to be cared for. Wife, Su Yang gathered his emotions and smiled softly. I did run into some trouble, but it's resolved, that's good. Where are you now? Li Fixun asked with a sigh of relief. Zheng Bei, are you busy? If you are, could you come pick me up at the Fengmao office building? I'm stuck downstairs, Li Fixun said. What? Someone actually dared to block my wife, and a group of them. Su Yang's face suddenly turned ugly when he heard that. His eyes were filled with dark clouds, and he said in a deep voice, Wife, I'll go over right away. No matter who sent those people, I will make them pay a heavy price. At least break 3 of their legs. Su Yang, Li Fixun didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Don't be impulsive. Those people are reporters. They just want to interview me. Why did you hit them? Reporters. Su Yang was stunned and frowned. What's going on? Didn't we shoot a short video a few days ago? I uploaded it to the official account of the training institution. As a result, I don't know who forwarded it to the Douyin short video platform. It got over 2 million likes and almost 100 million views. As a result, many media came to my dance training institution to interview me. I made it clear that I would not accept the interview, but they just refused to leave, Li Fixun said. Su Yang, I can't leave the building these days. I have been ordering takeout. I'm about to vomit. Come over and take me to eat hot pot. Haha, no problem. Su Yang understood and smiled. Honey, you're so famous. You have to treat me to lunch. I don't want to be famous. I'm so fed up, Li Fixun said glumly. Come over quickly. I'll be waiting for you on the first floor of the building. Okay, Su Yang agreed, then hung up the phone, found a quiet spot, and returned to his normal self. Then, Su Yang sped off in the red Ferrari he'd parked at the Juman Black Market. About 10 minutes later, he arrived at the Fengmao office building. It was a 30-story building with a cutting-edge design and a glass exterior, exuding a modern feel. Su Yang parked the car and stepped out when he saw a group of reporters gathered outside. These reporters, armed with cameras, looked over at someone exiting the building, then averted their gazes when they realized it wasn't their intended target. The building's security was helpless. These reporters were like dogskin plasters, refusing to leave. And since they hadn't entered the building, they had no right to expel them. It seems my wife is really famous. Su Yang smiled softly at this, then headed straight for the building, intending to find Li Fixun. Sir, please show me your work ID for this building, or you won't be allowed in. A security guard stopped him. Su Yang paused and said with a smile, I'm here to pick up my wife. She's in the building. Excuse me, sir. If you're picking someone up, please let them out. You can't come in. The security guard glanced at the reporters nearby and explained, things have been unusual these past few days. And there are always reporters trying to get into the building for various reasons. Sir, please understand, Su Yang naturally understood that this was the security guard's job, but he was the extremely dissolute young Master Su, and his persona had to be upheld. So, Su Yang glared at the security guard angrily, cursing, "Go to hell. Do you know who I am? How dare you stop me? In Jiangbei, there's no place young Master Su can't enter. If you don't want to die, get out of here." Su Yang gritted his teeth and kicked the security guard away. Su. Young Master Su, upon learning Su Yang's identity, the security guard's face paled with fear. He knelt anxiously, begging for mercy. "I'm sorry, young Master Su. I didn't know you were visiting. Please spare me." "That's more than enough," Su Yang nodded in satisfaction, then said magnanimously, "As a young master, I'm not going to bother with a mere ant like you. Go away, go back to your manager, and ask him to double your salary. I just gave him a kick, and that's my compensation. If your manager disagrees, tell me I can't kill him," Su Yang said fiercely before entering the building, embodying the word dandy to perfection. The beaten security guard was stunned by this, then ecstatic when he realized what was happening. "Farewell, young Master Su. Take care." The security guard watched Su Yang disappear in awe, a smile still plastered on his face. There was nothing he could do. He couldn't help it. Getting kicked and then having his salary doubled was so satisfying that he even wanted young Master Su to kick him a few more times. However, this scene was captured by numerous media outlets at the scene, many of which recorded the entire process. "Haha, I didn't get to snag Miss Li Fixuan. The editor-in-chief has been urging me to update my short video, and I was just wondering what to post, and now here's the material. A wealthy young man is so arrogant, treating a responsible security guard like an ant. This is sure to cause a frenzy of online discussion. Everyone is struggling to make a living and already hates the rich. If this video is posted, it will definitely get a ton of likes and views." Instantly, major media outlets created videos on the spot. To attract more traffic, they produced short videos in just minutes and uploaded them directly to short video platforms. This incident was like a small spark, almost instantly going viral. The behavior of the extremely dissolute young Master Su has become a point of criticism among netizens. Fuck. How could such a person exist in the world? So arrogant. They don't even treat ordinary people like human beings. Didn't I say security guards are just ants? We're all ants, and they're the superiors. Isn't this a fucking trampling on the security guard's dignity? Fuck you. They must be severely punished. Such an arrogant young master from a wealthy family must have done so many evil things behind the scenes. He might even have killed someone. I support the Jiangbei higher-ranking officials in sending someone to investigate. Investigate? Haha, who dares to investigate young Master Su? I'll kill him. The person above is excellent. Suddenly, Su Yang became a celebrity. It was mainly the reporters at the scene, who were either influential influencers or short video bloggers with millions of followers. When they teamed up, it was easy for them to create a viral sensation. In just a few minutes, I Am Young Master Su was trending, and the ranking kept rising. To the point where I Am Young Master Su became a buzzword, used to threaten and intimidate people when showing off. Chapter 149 Reporter, are you in a bad mood when you wake up? The reason why the video shot on the scene went viral was not only because these media outlets controlled a large amount of traffic, but also because the video was cut off from the beginning and the end, and did not present the whole story. The video cut out the fact that Su Yang doubled the security guard's salary. The online condemnation became louder and louder, and the phrase I Am Young Master Su became widely used. Su Yang did not know that his previous move to establish his image had caused an uproar on the internet. He came to the first floor of Feng Mao building, but did not see Li Fixuan. He called her and found out that his wife had gone to the bathroom, so he waited outside for a few minutes. Su Yang, at this moment, Li Fixuan came out of the bathroom, her beautiful and delicate face full of sorrow. Wife, I haven't seen you for a few days. Why do you look so haggard? Su Yang asked with concern. How dare you ask? Li Fixuan rolled her eyes at Su Yang, then continued, I haven't been able to contact you these days, and I haven't seen Uncle Su. I heard from my grandfather that something happened in your family, so I'm particularly worried about you. Really? Su Yang approached Li Fixuan and said with a playful smile, Wife, you are so worried about me. Could you be in love with me? How could it be so fast? Li Fixuan gathered the hair on her forehead and said with a blushing face, I just care about you from a friend's perspective. I see. Su Yang smiled lightly. That's okay, as long as you don't like me. What do you mean? Li Fixun heard this, her face turned ugly, and she gritted her teeth and said, Su Yang, you don't want me to like you? Is it a shameful thing for you that I like you? No, wife, you misunderstood. Su Yang met Li Fixun's gaze and said, look, we've just started dating, and I haven't even started showing any serious signs of love yet, and you've already fallen in love with me. It's too easy, and it's made me feel completely naive. If I perform well in the future and shine brightly, won't you fall head over heels in love with me? So, it's better for us to take it slow. I'll make you fall in love with me little by little, Su Yang said seriously. PFFT, Li Fixun pouted. What do you mean by shining brightly and loving you to death? Su Yang, you're too arrogant. Maybe I'll fall in love with someone else in the future, Li Fixun said proudly. After all, a girl as outstanding as me has many suitors. Any one of them I pick is more handsome than you. Tisk, what's the point of being handsome? It can't feed you. Are those people as handsome as me? Su Yang said with disdain. Haha, what do you mean by older than you? I don't care about age. I'm fine with 2 years plus or minus. So what if I'm not older than you? Li Fixun was talking when she saw a playful smirk on Su Yang's face. People passing by also looked puzzled. Older? What's older? Li Fixun immediately realized what was happening and felt extremely ashamed. Her face flushed red as she whispered, Su Yang, you're going to die. What are you talking about? Older or not? There are so many people here, aren't you embarrassed? Wife, I swear to God, I think the same as you. It's just that they're mistaking age, Su Yang said innocently. Besides, you were the one who shouted it out loud. What does it have to do with me? You? Oh her. Li Fixun snorted coldly. Knowing she couldn't win over Su Yang, she simply stopped talking and said, Su Yang, let's go eat hot pot. I'll order 2 servings of shrimp paste. Wife, are you hungry? Su Yang said with a smile. Yes, Li Fixun nodded earnestly, her eyes sparkling. Now she looked like a real foodie. Are you hungry? Why bother with hot pot? Mine is huge, I can eat it as a meal, Su Yang said with a wicked smile. You're asking for a fight. Li Fixun's face darkened, and she glared at Su Yang angrily, ready to teach him a lesson. Su Yang smiled softly and quickly dodged, with Li Fixun chasing after him. The two of them chased each other, and soon reached the building's exit. Okay, Su Yang, I won't mess with you anymore. You go out and attract their attention first, and I'll sneak away. We'll keep in touch and meet up somewhere after we're free, Li Fixun whispered. Wife, how long have you been stuck here? Su Yang asked with a smile. Actually, less than a day. I deliberately said several days so I could get you here quickly. Li Fixun felt a little embarrassed. Haha, Su Yang chuckled, not expecting his wife to lie. Then, curiously, he asked, Honey, why don't you want to be interviewed? I'm not interested in being an internet celebrity. I just want to focus on my dance training and let more people understand classical dance, Li Fixun said seriously. Is that so? Then I think you should accept their interview, Su Yang suggested. Now that you're so popular, you'll definitely get a lot of attention. You can use your fame to promote classical dance and teach more people how to dance. I've thought about that, but I really don't want to be an internet celebrity. I see those streamers live streaming every day, and they say all sorts of things. I don't want people to judge me, Li Fixun said seriously. Honey, your values are fine. Who says you have to live stream? You can gather these people on your official account and post a video or article when you're happy. Su Yang smiled. Don't you also want to promote your dance training? Interviews will be more effective, that's true, but I'm afraid of facing so many media outlets, Li Fixun whispered. Su Yang comforted her. It's okay. I'll be cheering you on from the back. When you think the interview is almost over, give me a signal and I'll take you to Hot Pot. What if they don't want me to leave? Li Fixun said with a wry smile. They dare? I'm young Master Su. I can knock out any reporter with one punch. Don't worry, Su Yang said with a smile. Yes, after receiving Su Yang's reassurance, Li Fixun mustered her courage and walked through the revolving glass doors, soon appearing before a crowd of reporters. She's out. Miss Li Fixun is out. She's so beautiful. Exactly like in the video. No beauty filters, no filters. A pure, natural beauty. Her facial features are so classic. They're perfect for my taste. I'm a blogger with 5 million followers, and I became her fan after just one look. In an instant, cameras were trained on Li Fixun, snapping and recording frantically. Hello everyone, I'm Li Fixun. If you have any questions, you can ask them now. Li Fixun smiled, but her nervousness was evident. As soon as the words fell, the reporter standing in the front row placed a microphone next to Li Fixun and asked, Ms. Li Fixun, as we all know, a minute on stage takes 10 years of hard work off stage. Your classical dance skills are so good. It must be due to your diligent practice. Fans are curious, do you have a habit of sleeping in? In other words, do you get grumpy when you wake up? No, Li Fixun shook her head and answered seriously. It seems everyone's guess is correct. You must wake up early every day and practice diligently, so you can present the best dance to everyone, the reporter said with a smile. No, I don't get grumpy when I wake up because, unexpectedly, Li Fixun became a little embarrassed and added quietly, I only get up when I'm no longer grumpy. Chapter 150 Lovely Li Fixun. Is it because you sleep until you're no longer grumpy before waking up? As soon as this question came out, all the reporters at the scene were stunned, then burst into laughter. Haha, Miss Li Fixun is so cute, even I, a woman, love her. Sleeping until you're no longer grumpy before waking up, Miss Li Fixun, this is so real, she dances classically so well and is so cute, who cannot like Miss Li Fixun? Most of the reporters at the scene became fans of Li Fixun, and the scene almost became a fan meeting for Li Fixun. However, a few reporters also felt that Li Fixun's popularity must be related to capital and a team behind her. Otherwise, why would others post so many videos but not go viral? But she did with just one. So, one of the reporters stepped forward and asked, Ms. Li Fixun, you became an internet sensation practically overnight, especially on the short video platform Douyin. Your videos have become the top trending topic, with astonishingly high views. These are things many short video bloggers dream of, but can't achieve. How did you achieve it? Or, do you have any connection to the Douyin short video platform? Swish. 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 The moment these words were spoken, the room fell silent, and everyone's eyes fell on Li Fixun. They speculated about this question, believing that Li Fixun must have financial connections, perhaps having already signed a contract with a platform, which was why Douyin was promoting her so enthusiastically. Everyone waited for the answer. At this point, Li Fixun honestly stated, do I have any connection to the short video platform Douyin? Yes, haha, I knew it. How could someone suddenly become an instant hit out of nowhere? This is definitely hype. Although Miss Li Fixun is beautiful and dances beautifully, she wouldn't have become so popular without the financial backing. If nothing unexpected happens, Miss Li Fixun has already signed with Douyin, or some major union. It's all a publicity stunt. This is the first time I've seen someone like that. Just a few days after becoming famous, she's already openly admitting she has a team. Haha, Li Fixun's EQ is questionable. People like that are just flash in the pan. Once they lose the audience's favor, their popularity will quickly fade. Some reporters began to disdain Li Fixun, their words tinged with slight contempt. The reporter who asked the question flashed a smug smile and then followed up with, Ms. Li Fixun, what is your connection to Douyin? Could you please tell us in detail? Our fans are very curious. Of course I would. There's nothing I can't say, Li Fixun nodded. Upon hearing this, the numerous reporters held their breath, not daring to breathe, their eyes fixed on Li Fixun, their cameras at the ready. Typically, the contracts signed by live streamers and influencers are confidential and not disclosed publicly. Li Fixun, now a viral sensation, openly admitted her connection to the Douyin platform and was willing to share details. This was a surefire hit, and everyone was eagerly anticipating it. My connection to Douyin, Li Fixun paused, then said seriously, I am a Douyin user. What connection? A Douyin user? Holy crap, after all this fuss, so this is what they call a connection. Who doesn't have some connection to Douyin? We're Douyin users too, so what kind of connection is this? Haha, I'm dying of laughter. I didn't expect Miss Li Fixun to have such a side to her. I thought she really had some connection to Douyin. Sorry, I was wrong. Miss Li Fixun is not low in emotional intelligence at all. She's really got it. So, does she have any connection to the Douyin platform? Yes, didn't I tell you it's the relationship between users and the platform? Don't you understand? Ms. Li Fixun, besides being a user, do you have any other relationship with Douyin, like a signed contract or something? The reporter pressed on. Li Fixun was unwilling to answer, and hurriedly turned back to look at the revolving glass door, motioning Su Yang to come over quickly. Su Yang nodded, then strode over. Who is Miss Li Fixun looking at, huh? Isn't that the super-spoiled young Master Su from earlier? What's he doing here? This guy is so despicable. I asked someone to find out. He's a scumbag. He hangs out in high-end clubs all day, has women all around him, and even got his fiancée's best friend pregnant. The scum of scum. Everyone in Jiangbei should have heard of young Master Su. After all, he's known as Jiangbei's #1 spoiler. Numerous reporters at the scene followed Li Fixun's gaze and saw Su Yang approaching. They were all filled with hostility towards him, some even commenting on him on the spot. However, what happened next stunned the reporters, and their hostility towards Su Yang was even greater. Wife, the interview is over so soon. Let's go eat hot pot. In full view of everyone, Su Yang grabbed Li Fixun's hand and began to leave. Li Fixun didn't resist. After a gentle smile, she followed Su Yang. What's going on? Why did Miss Li Fixun leave with such a bad boy? Oh my, Miss Li Fixun must have been forced by young Master Su. Damn it, come on, didn't you see that Li Fixun didn't struggle? She was obviously submissive. Maybe she is one of young Master Su's women. Haha, I said, how can someone become popular on the internet for no reason? It's probably because of young Master Su's connections that made Li Fixun famous. Don't make random comments if you don't know. I found out that Li Fixun is actually young Master Su's fiancée. Fuck, didn't young Master Su get her best friend pregnant? Why is Li Fixun still willing to be with young Master Su? Do you even need to ask? This must be a game between three people. The life of a rich young master is so colorful that we can't even imagine it. According to my investigation, Li Fixun's family is also very rich. It is one of the 4 major families in Jiangbei. They shouldn't be so poor as to surrender to the tyranny of young Master Su, right? I don't understand why such a jewel of a wealthy family would degenerate into a frivolous woman like young Master Su. I'm so angry. The major media outlets were all amazed when they saw Su Yang take Li Fixun away. After realizing what was happening, some reporters, armed with cameras, began running over to interview her. Can't you see my wife doesn't want to be interviewed? Get out of here. If you come after me again, don't blame me for being rude, Su Yang said with a sullen face. Haha, young Master Su, I don't believe you dare hide a reporter. What are you saying? Nothing much happened today, but if you dare touch us, it'll be a big deal. You know, the pressure of public opinion is terrifying. If you touch me, I'll lie down on the ground and request a wound assessment. And you'll be in big trouble. Several reporters were particularly arrogant, completely ignoring Su Yang, their faces adorned with playful smiles, convinced that he wouldn't dare hit them. If you really think so, then I can only say that you know nothing about my dandy ways. Su Yang stopped and said with a cold smile, the reporter who just said he wanted to identify the scars, please stand up. Haha, you don't have to pretend that your injuries are serious, young Master Su, are you begging me? The reporter took a step forward and said with a smug smile. No, Su Yang took a step forward and knocked the reporter to the ground with a punch. The reporter vomited blood and fell unconscious. Then, Su Yang blew on his fist and said with a harmless smile, because your injuries are really serious, there is no need to pretend. End of this chapter. Thank you so much for reading until the end. Don't forget to give it a like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription or donation encourages us to continue. Thank you all. See you in the next video.